Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. 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 Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep.
Right.
Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting.
Yep.
Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day.
Yeah.
They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA.
Right.
Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Monday evening. Got an absolutely loaded show for you guys, as always, here on a Monday. I was wondering, I did a Florida podcast today after that Aaron Philo film breakdown. I was wondering why it didn't feel like breathing. I was wondering why it felt like I was almost thinking through my thoughts. Now I'm realizing I've been out of the game. Been out of the game for like 4 or 5 days. That's like 3 weeks for me, it feels like.
Yeah,
We haven't been live since Tuesday. That's 6 days no live.
that's our longest hiatus since when?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm running out of the blocks for the first time in 100 for a minute. Here we are. Welcome in. We got a loaded one for you guys. We got massive quarterback news over the weekend. We're going to talk about that. Big Ten's dumbest idea to date. And we have details on that dumb decision, or rather suggestion. Notable quarterback jobs to pay attention to as spring practice arrives. I know it feels like we're walking through this oasis of the offseason and all this other stuff. Nobody talking about football. I don't know. We're like 30 days from spring practice at most of these places.
Yeah.
So y'all better start locking in. We got some major quarterback battles to talk about tonight. The SEC teams in particular will be talking about this spring. We also have an off-season additions. Boys, I have Auburn prepared and A&M prepared. We'll let Jonathan decide who I ultimately deliver on additions tonight. We'll tease you guys till the end on that one. You'll have to find out. And, of course, as you can tell by the title of tonight's broadcast, we are going to rank our top 5 football coaches active in college football. And the reason we're going to be doing that today, boys, is because I think it's a clear-cut 3. And then we're going to scratch and claw to figure out who 4 and 5 are. And I think that's the more important discussion to be having tonight, and we will be doing that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let's go to work. You know it. I already see it in the chat. It is search for sicko time. All right, I see some sickos in the chat firing off right now. I see somebody trying to contribute to my fishing pole fund. We appreciate that. If you were at the Walmart winder today and you decided to take 2 fishing rods out of a Toyota Tundra, I'm going to find your ass. Don't worry about that.
Now, was this because like you left the tailgate unlocked? Or?
So, I got the...
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Like
I would never leave my tailgate unlocked, but the tailgate, for a brief moment, was uncovered. And there were 2 fishing rods laying in the back of it. And somebody whoop-de-dooed them. up out and took the tackle box.
So how long were you gone? Like how quick?
In and out of the Walmart. I was in the Walmart, went to the back, had to pick up a box fan for the kids' tent that we bought over the weekend.
Nice.
And then went to the food aisle to get some Alanis for the wife, and then hit the checkout. Bang, bang, bong.
Man, that was a swift.
In and out. Oh, he was a smooth criminal. And he even noticed he was away from the video towers. He knew what he was doing. Not like I was going to sit around and wait for the security guard at Walmart and winder. Yeah. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, if you're watching tonight, you're a real sicko. And we appreciate you, sicko. We're looking for the other sickos, the college football sickos tonight. We're in search for those guys. And the way we get put in front of those people who are dying and only are in dire need of college football content and only want college football content is if you're firing off in that chat and hitting that thumbs up button. We start with the news around here, and there was news this weekend, boys. Trinidad Chambliss in a local court approved for a 6th year. I did see the NCAA was going to appeal this. I don't know if their appeal will hold any water. Let's assume and talk about it as if Trinidad Chambliss got his 6th year.
Oh, this was like basically anything that I thought of Ole Miss this upcoming year was going to hinge on this decision of whether or not Trinidad Chambliss was going to get an extra year, because if it wasn't, it was going to be Deuce Knight. He's entering his 1st year as a starter. But now that it's Trinidad Chambliss returning, this guy has the potential to be the best quarterback in college football this upcoming year. This guy played extremely well for Ole Miss last season, was maybe the best quarterback in the college football playoffs this past year, despite not making a national title game. A super impactful player. He raises the ceiling and the floor of this Ole Miss team coming up on this year.
I also feel like I'm with you. I think it's one of the best returning quarterbacks in all of college football. The way that he finished, bringing back Kewan Lacey on top of that tandem in that backfield at Ole Miss, I would imagine is going to be really, really good, borderline great in 2026. But I do think this is none of these extra years of eligibility cases seem cut and dry. This one I feel like I can swallow. I've been Mr. High school football guy. I've been Mr. Can we get a job guy. I've been Mr. If you're ready for the NFL, it's time to go on to the NFL despite all this NIL money looking good. I've been that guy this entire time. But, guys, this isn't some 2019 high school graduate. This is a 2021 high school graduate, well within his 5-year time span. Hell, definitely within his 6-year time span of college football. And not only that, he was under the impression that he was getting a medical red shirt while at the D2 school. Ferris State. He was under the impression that he was getting it. Not only that, as was everybody else involved, there's NCAA broadcasters on a national championship in Division II saying that this individual has received his medical red shirt. It seemed relatively cut and dry to me. I know this will get labeled with the get a job memes. I know this will get labeled with, oh my God, my football is not my football anymore type stuff. But this doesn't seem to me like some major stretch of the rules here.
No, and I think that was kind of my takeaway. It was like the initial reaction is, oh my God, college football is cooked. You can basically just go to the court and get whatever eligibility you want. But this isn't really the case. I don't think a Trinidad Chambliss style case is going to be recreated anytime soon. Now, the other one that we'll talk about later is certainly going to be the more important one here. But I like we all agree, like Trinidad Chambliss was going to be what Ole Miss season hinged on. I don't think this is that much out of the realm of or fairness to say that he did get that extra year because of the medical red shirt that was or was not given to him. So it makes sense, and honestly, good for him, good for Ole Miss, and good for college football, honestly, because he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, and I agree with you in the sense of like this doesn't feel like one of these slimy incidences where the player is trying to gain an extra year of eligibility just for the heck of it, really. Like this feels like one of the more natural processes of trying to get back a year that you feel like you deserve. But my entire reaction around this is I do start to get a little concerned that we see more and more players choosing college over the NFL. Like that's just my only concern with all of this, because in my eyes, I do think that Trinidad would be one of the best quarterbacks in this year's draft class. Like I think he would be one of the top priorities at that position in this year's class. And I get it. He'll be well paid at Ole Miss, and the next year could do a lot of good for him. Not
just well paid, Jonathan. Reports are $6 million.
Right. So I get that. But that's also like a part of my concern is that we've reached that level. Like, and we've been at this level. This isn't anything new. Like Trinidad isn't like breaking through some ceiling of like, oh, now these guys are getting paid an exorbitant amount of money to the point where NFL money you don't even think twice about it. But it just feels like we're kind of like created this blockade of a natural process and flow of you get to a certain point in your college career and it's like, obviously you go to the NFL.
So this is a 2021 high school graduate asking for the Division II medical redshirt year that he was under the impression that he received. He's asking for that back. I think that's a whole different can of worms than opening up what potentially Joey Aguilar is trying to do.
Yeah.
Which is saying, hey, none of those JUCO years count. But here's the deal. Here's what's really, really weird about this. Joey is look like that one's getting deferred. We have no answer on Aguilar's. This will be his 8th year of college football. This is a 2019 high school graduate. So this would be his 8th year, I believe, asking for, his window to play college football. That's a little bit outside of the norm for me, but I don't know where to land on this because I'm a consistency guy. And I definitely want that from our court systems, for the love of God. I would prefer that. That would be nice. I don't know if we're ever going to get that way. But the court systems in the state of Tennessee gave Pavia the JUCO year, the one JUCO year. And I vividly remember his lawyer standing there in Tennessee State Court saying, hey, by the way, appreciate you giving me that 1 year. If you don't, I'm coming back for that second one. Mm-hmm. And so much so that it got tweeted out, and Diego was like, Cap, I'm not coming back. But he did that because he felt like it was almost embarrassing. He was going to the NFL anyways. Mm-hmm. I don't think Joey Aguilar cares to be in the NFL. I think Joey Aguilar cares to get that $3 million that Tennessee's probably going to give him. Mm-hmm. So there is somewhat court precedence here for this. Mm-hmm. But Joey's already gotten his one that Diego got.
Yeah.
Now he's asking for 2. Now he's basically asking for none of it to count, which I don't know. Is he going to get it?
I mean, no offense to Tennessee fans or Joey Aguilar, I would hope that he doesn't get it because you're right. You do set a precedent that you can basically play JUCO ball, do whatever you want for however long you play JUCO, and that not count towards your eligibility to the point where you're going to get a backlog. I mean, he's 25 going on 26. It's at this point like college football is probably not the sport we need to be playing right now. So
he'd be hell in the CFL.
Yeah, but again, it's more of the thing of we have to be fair to because if there's 3 Joey Aguilars in college football, there's 3 high school prospects that don't get a spot. There's 3 other players that are in college age that are doing things the right way that are getting cheated out of it because, you're essentially bullying through the court system.
Yeah.
I don't want to derail the conversation too much, but this just kind of popped off to me. This comes from Matt Zenitz. ECU intends to hire Miami director of player personnel, Devontae Love Taylor's general manager.
Yeah.
And that seems like a huge – I don't know. That's a huge steal for your Pirates, by the way. I don't want to derail the conversation. But
they got that Mr. Beast money now.
Is that real?
I don't know.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know.
I don't keep up with Mr. Beast that much.
I mean, if we wanted to find out, we could find out.
Yeah, we could.
What I do want to circle back to about all of these 2 court cases, but specifically with Trinidad Chambliss is one thing about social media and the internet now is with these court hearings, you kind of get live updates about what's happening, videos taking place. Like you basically get to keep up with it as a timeline. I thought there were 3 things in this Trinidad Chambliss hearing and court appearance that I thought were, one, hilarious or just completely amazed by. Like the first one of what Joe Judge said in court, basically telling his players, hey, when football season comes around, no time for the girls. I need you. Basically said, I tell these women that I need your man playing good football this time of year.
That's an interesting way of saying that. That's how he said that. He told baby mamas don't get pregnant during football season.
Yeah.
And he said it with a microphone in a court.
I also
he wanted that shit on the record, fam.
Yeah. That was the first thing I saw from any of the content being produced out of this, and I was like, he said what?
Buckle up, boys. We got a good one.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And from that point on, I was like, all right, I got to see what else comes out of this. Trinidad signing autographs after this, I thought was, I don't know how to put it, interesting. Like taking a big victory lap, like as you should. You just got granted another year of college football like you wanted to, but like signing autographs as if you just won like a national title. I thought that was funny. Then the other part that I thought was weird and also maybe a little concerning is they were utilizing Carson Beck as an example of this, saying how, well, this guy didn't even go to class when he was at Miami. Trinidad will be enrolled in classes, so this is why he'll actually be a student athlete, which was just completely taken out of context.
You forgot one.
Oh, did I?
You forgot the fact that the Ole Miss graduate that was the judge was like placating and going on so long in his closing arguments about how he was going to rule in favor of Trinidad, that the NCAA law team
Oh yeah, they walked out.
Sorry.
got up
walking
and
out.
walked
Yeah.
out because
Left
they
the
had to
freaking
be
room.
in Knoxville the next day.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, huh?
Yeah,
They got their ass beat that bad? What?
Yeah, so I think more than anything, from somebody that has never sat in a courtroom, other than like documentaries I might watch of clips of civil cases or anything like that, I have no idea about how the process works. But just like seeing the snippets from this Trinidad case, it's like, this is weird. This doesn't seem like this is maybe the most professional setting that this is occurring in.
No, it definitely wasn't. But I mean, it's college football. None of it's ever been professional. So, and
definition.
it was, and the judge was, from what I understand, an Ole Miss
graduate.
grad
But
or-
that's just happenstance, Kirby.
I get that.
That was just
I think it's-
happenstance.
Like,
So,
I'm not.
boys, are we good on that?
Yeah.
That's the news that we actually had to work for as journalists. You know what I mean? I mean, a couple of those stories Jonathan told, that's only happening if you got your butt up and went into an Oxford courthouse, or got your butt up and went into a Knoxville courthouse, and you sat in there with your nice tie and all that good stuff, and you paid attention. You were a journalist. On the other hand, we got some football players that just feel the need to break their own news about neck injuries.
Oh, man.
Did y'all hear about this?
Yeah.
This serves as a PSA, not only to be careful while you're driving, but stop giving the news to people who don't need it. I'm looking at you, Lotsier Brooks, sophomore wide receiver, who I love tremendously. Think you're going to be a great NFL football player when you get there, son. But no need to go get into a car wreck, have a preventative neck brace put on you, and then just deliver the story button wrap to the entire beat via your Instagram story. What are we doing? Stop it. And now look, I'm sure the Alabama beat reporting group, which I have a tremendous amount of respect for, I'm sure they would have found the shit anyways. I'm sure they would have figured out their star receivers walking around campus in a neck brace. That being said, don't need to put it on our IG story, my guy. Don't need it.
It's one thing to
Wow.
like maybe post yourself in some crutches because it's football. Things like that happen. You get dinged up a little bit. Maybe you need to be on crutches for a few days. Posting yourself in a neck brace, that is like extreme.
No need for felt cute. Might delete later. You know what I mean? Let's just keep that one in the what do you call those, reserves?
Yeah,
I mean, this
In the
is,
drafts.
This is classic. I'm 19, 20 years old and would do anything to have people reach out like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I hope you're feeling better. And not thinking about how there's a large media presence that
Yeah.
follows me that will report on basically anything I do and say.
It is the exact case of like one of your friends in high school posting a picture of them laying in a hospital bed with an IV in their arm. Like,
Yeah.
send prayers
Pray-
my way.
pray for
Yeah,
me.
make sure you hit me up with some
Yeah.
DMs asking me if I'm okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it feels
Yeah.
like. Like, I mean, Nate Frazier, when Georgia season's over, he posted a picture of him stepping out of a Lamborghini in a boot.
So you think that was a Lambo flex or a boot flex? I think that was a Lambo flex.
Probably both.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Why you flexing the boot, fam?
Like, hey, back home, got in the Lambo.
Just letting y'all know I was playing hurt all year.
Yeah.
Just letting y'all know, just in case y'all was wondering, I was hurt.
I mean, after the season, do whatever you want, dude. Be like, I broke every bone in my body. But when you're spring practice at that point, like, dude, don't.
It's a great example of basically subtweeting. Make sure you check up on me. I would like some checkup text.
Yeah.
That's basically what.
That's
this
what it
was.
was, but you forget the fact that
Yeah.
people will cover anything that's injured related
Hey,
to
it was around Valentine's Day. Maybe just feeling a little lonely. Needed some people to check up on him. Needed some
I like
company.
that. Nonetheless, make them work for it, man. Make the beat reporting base work for it, dog. I'm looking at you, Tyler Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at all you guys. Like, we enjoy the stories. They're great. But
Is
like,
it even a serious injury? Like, it was what?
no, I mean, it's preventative. It was
yeah.
all preventative, but he got an ass chewing. That's why it was deleted.
Right.
This was a Instagram story that was up briefly, had the whole beat writing on it because we got a star wide receiver in a neck brace, and now it's news. It probably didn't even have to be.
That's got to be an April Fool's prank at some point. Just hop on just April 1st, hop on
Just
the IG
Gunnar Stockton
story.
hop on it April 1st neck brace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Gunnar
would be like, oh, Bloody Tuesday. Bloody Tuesday for Gunnar.
Gunnar would never post anything on his Instagram story, though.
Does he
So-
have Instagram?
He does.
He does.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not on his phone, but he's got an account. So
Wasn't even the craziest thing posted of a college football player this past weekend, though. That didn't make the show notes, so we don't have to talk about it too much. But
What are you
Bryce
talking
Underwood and them boys up there.
Oh,
my
my
God.
What
I
are you
forgot
doing?
about
buddy?
this.
All right, look. I don't even know where to go with this.
I know. I'm sure. That's,
I'm surprised, knowing me, it didn't make the show notes. Like, honest to God, I know a lot of teammates in college that were down with the tree, that were out here smoking the grass. May have partook myself, but never have I ever heard of anybody be like, you know what we should do? Go hotbox our $100 million locker room. That would be a great idea. Hey, also, you know what we should do? We should film it.
yeah.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing? Also, the best part about that story was his apology
Well,
that he
that-
tweeted out.
I don't know if
What's
that was
up with
real.
that's not real?
It came from
Okay.
that typical troll account. that
Okay,
has
just
gotten
making
many
sure.
people.
Not real.
But
man.
I don't.
What
think
was the verbiage on that? It was apologies for impure activities.
Impure activities.
Was the wording on that?
Yeah.
Impure activities.
Best part about it, though, doesn't even crack the top 5 list of craziest things that happened in Michigan over the last few years.
Jonathan, the birth control, we don't even know if that's real. The having it Ubered each to the
man,
facility,
I'm just
the cheating with on the spouse, the getting arrested, burning it down in the locker room is up there.
Oh, it's up there.
Burning it down on camera in the locker room, up there.
Definitely.
Way up there on the list of crazy things that have happened.
I agree.
That is absurd. Like, buddy, I knew guys that would smoke in the shower on road trips, put towels under the hotel doors. Like, I've heard of all of it. Never have I ever heard of, let's go burn the shit up in the locker room. That's crazy. Absolutely
I laugh
crazy.
every time because it's just there was no thought process in any of that.
Idiots, dude. Just stupid.
Crazy.
The Michigan Man slogan is dead. Can we kill? Can we,
Oh, buddy.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Can we roll that up and smoke
Yeah,
that shit?
like-
I mean, golly. Woo.
It's gone.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Should we talk about, speaking of the Big Ten, should we talk about this horrible, horrible idea?
I think we should. I think it needs to be talked about at least.
It does. As do those super chubs. We're going to get to those guys in a little bit. So the Big Ten thought it'd be a good idea to just like skip 16, skip 18, skip 20. Go straight to 24 teams in the college football playoff. Just expand straight from 12, double it. We like it so much, just double it. Go straight to 24. This is supposed to be enacted, or they want it to be enacted by 2029. 24 teams, 23 top-ranked teams, 1 G5 member. Top 8 automatically get a bye. The first 8 first-round playoff games will be played on campus. The second round of 8 playoff games will also be played on campus. So not only if you're a top 8 seed, you get a bye, but you also are guaranteed a home game as well in this model. And, of course, no conference title games. Mm-hmm. Complete removal of that.
Now, before we just crap on all of this, I think there are some pieces to this that I do like. Like, I for one, like the idea of adding more home playoff games in the playoffs. I like that idea. I know that takes away opportunities for bowl venues and that therefore takes away money from those sites and all that good stuff. But I like the idea of adding more and more home games to the playoffs. I think that would be beneficial. I think it added extra incentive to have a first-round bye as well, which I know that there's a whole big debate around that as well. But I like that idea of it. I'm okay with that. Now, with it being 24 teams, not cool with that part. But the more home games, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about this. I appreciate the fact that this is a very clearly thought-out plan. It's very clearly something that whoever is in charge at the Big Ten has put some thought into and has created this plan. It's still idiotic.
Yeah.
So credit to them for at least putting effort in.
Also, credit to the ESPN writer, or to the Big Ten for getting the ESPN writer to write this so positively about this idea, because I don't know if you guys read it the way I read it. It read like propaganda. Mm-hmm. Like, we hope this kind of gets implemented.
That bad.
Yeah, not that bad. This is good for college football. Also mixed in a paragraph in there where it was like, oh, also, not that anybody didn't put 2 and 2 together here, but this gives ESPN an additional 12 games to sell off.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Just-
There's the answer.
Oh, there's the reasoning. Yeah, right there. By the way, I don't know if ESPN would have exclusive rights to those 12 additional ones per the Big Ten's agreement, because, of course, the Big Ten wants to give some of those to Fox.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
For sure.
we understand the reason being behind all of this. When you read the article, what I found was really, really interesting was this paragraph and a half about optimal window of when to play these games.
Yeah.
This is really peculiar to me because it has this whole thought out process of when these 24 teams would play in a college football playoff window. And magically, they figured out a way at the Big Ten office to get a 24-team playoff done by January 15th. And we're about to play a 12-team playoff that ends January 25th. That makes no sense to me. What makes no sense to me is even in this paragraph, you will see that they put out the reason for this. Obvious, we want to avoid the NFL, which right now what we do is we play the regular season, we allow the NFL to get theirs, and then we play our postseason meaningful games. That makes no sense. That's why we have 28 days off for some of these top-ranked teams. And in this paragraph and in this article about expansion that they're trying to bring to us in 2029, they lay out this problem. And they say how big of a problem it is for now's college football teams. But we ain't going to fix the shit. What? We're not going to fix it. Y'all are telling me it's a problem. Y'all are telling me that you are open to fixing it in 2029, but you don't want to fix it right now under the 12-team playoff. That made no sense to me.
And it really just brings me back to the coaches meeting that was held where they voted on this new redshirt rule where now you can play up to 9 games. And like, that is what we elected to vote on, but yet we have people in the Big Ten, at least that we know of now, that are aware of, hey, this calendar is pretty messed up. We probably should do something about it. We need to change this. This is a problem. And yet it's not talked about. We're focused on other things. We're worried about other things. It gets me all frustrated again.
This feels like the we're going to make it seem like it's a bigger issue so that when we bring the solution to it, our idea sounds a lot better. Where I don't think that there was yes, there is somewhat of an urgency to, get the calendar fixed in college football, but very obviously this wasn't a top priority issue.
No, just from everybody who cares about the sport. That's all. Just all of us, we, the collective we that make college football the fastest growing sport in terms of viewership in the world right now, we know that the calendar should be condensed. The college football coaches know that the college football calendar should be condensed. Decision makers, hey, when can we go to 24?
Okay. It is funny to me a little bit because, there's a lot of debates in a lot of other sports, but really in football, it seems like the entire focus with really the NFL and college football at this point in time is their entire focus or a big priority for theirs right now is how can we elongate the season? How can we add more teams to the playoff? How can we get more out of this? While with other sports like the NBA, it's, hey, how can we condense the schedule? How can we make the regular season shorter? MLB, hey, can we maybe take it from 162 games to maybe 130? But the most physically enduring sport, let's try and elongate this more and make it as long as we possibly can. Like, it's just so it's comical to me. It makes it. It's so funny to me.
I mean, the
Chat's saying it's all about the money, and I agree. But at some point, you're hustling backwards, messing up your own product.
We're not even talking about the root cause of the idioticness of this is the fact that it's 24 teams get to compete for a national title.
Yeah.
We have 24 teams. We have trouble agreeing on who number 15 or number 16 should be in the top 25. God forbid the 24 teams that get to go to the college football playoff. The debate between the margins between the 24th ranked team and the 25th ranked team are so much more thin, and we're
Here's
about
the
to
deal.
make that the.
I will be honest with my constituents today. If we ever go to 24 teams, and you hear me on here full-throating a debate between 24 and 25, I've sold out. Because my honest opinion today is that 24 and 25 have never, ever been able to win a national title. Ever. And if you put them in a 24-team playoff, they ain't magically going to have a chance to do it now. And so if you ever hear us giving you that, we've sold out.
But Brooks, parity, level of the playing field with NIL,
Up to 14. 15, 16, maybe.
Well, who
pushing it,
says
man.
in
24?
3 years from now, 24 teams could be competitive
No.
enough to win a national title?
No. This is.
I hope everybody senses the sarcasm.
I
in
know,
that.
but it just
Yeah.
even in your sarcasm, it's an annoying because there are people that will believe that and will buy into that theory that, hey, this team 13 got left out, so we got to expand it to make it more available for them.
Kirby, I got a phone call from Eli Drinkwitz just now that said, but Brooksy, the NFL allows a quarter of their teams. And we're trying to get to the NFL model, right? So why don't we let 40 in? 24 sounds good. Let's go to 48. My name's Eli Drinkwitz, and I wear camo cargos. And I approve this message.
I mean, I don't even want to.
He's on record, SEC Media Day, saying
Sure
that.
is.
by the
Yeah,
way.
no, I
He
was
is
there for
on the record.
I couldn't. I mean, and that's look. I get it that
He said it like he was grandstanding for a presidential race, like it was part of his campaign.
yeah, like everyone's gonna love this. And I get the idea that unfortunately, the validity of your season has been placed in whether or not you compete for a national championship. And if you don't, your season wasn't really that exciting, didn't really mean anything. That doesn't mean that you just keep expanding the net so that everyone can, feel like we had a successful season because we went to the college football playoff.
Yeah, this ain't Daytona 500 where you're racing ninth and there's a massive crash in front of you and all of a sudden you win the biggest race in the world. That's not how the playoff works.
No.
How about that?
You're kind of missing me with that one, but
Yeah,
I get the idea behind it.
You should watch the last, 10 laps of Daytona every year. It should just be appointment television. From now on, I'll text you when it's happening. Hey,
the last
run to Fox right now. You might have to download the app.
Yeah,
We might have taken it off the linear television at that point. But hey, right here. By the way, you NASCAR folks, way too many commercials nowadays.
skip the first 490 laps of a race.
I think they only race like 250 at Daytona. But hey, you know what? You don't know the round circle, so it's all good.
I don't. I've never.
We know
watched,
the oblong ball.
Yes,
we
I've
know
never,
that.
I've never watched more than
We know that.
30 minutes of a NASCAR race.
You should. The
Yeah.
last 30 minutes. You don't need to watch the first hour and a half of circles. Don't get me started on road races. There's this one guy in NASCAR that's dominating road races. He's won like 98% of them. It's the only reason he's ever in the hunt. Hey, spring quarterback battles. Speaking of in the hunt,
They still exist?
lots of them. Hey, by the way, stop asking me that. I think spring football has returned in its full glory because we've removed the secondary transfer portal window. So all you football coaches out there that have been canceling spring games year after year talking about, well, I don't want to advertise my roster. Guess what? Yeah, ain't no advertising it, baby. You got to go play ball now.
You don't even have to worry about hurting feelings anymore.
No.
You can be straight up honest about
Yeah,
everything.
we can coach guys because we know they're not allowed to leave until next January. We got them.
Yep.
We got them for a year.
Yep.
That
How
is a
about that?
positive of that. I think that is one of the benefits if you don't have to kind of.
Tiptoe around everything, which most of that I think is more so controlling a narrative.
I'm going to go ahead and get it out the way. Is anybody trying to poach Tyler Van Buren? Because I know there's not a transfer portal window available, but what is stopping a player like Tyler Van Buren from saying, obviously Sam Levitt's the guy, so I'm
Michael Van Buren.
Michael Van Buren, not Tyler Van Buren. Obviously, Sam Levitt is the guy.
Right.
They're paying him $3.5 million. I'm good enough. If I went in the portal right now, someone would give me $1 million. But I don't need to go in the portal. I'll just transfer as a student somewhere else and walk on.
Yeah.
What stops that from
Well,
happening?
nothing, I would say.
And we know that walking on nowadays really isn't walking on.
And these contracts that they sign don't really mean anything.
They're absolutely chopped.
Yeah. So nothing's really stopping you from doing that. It's a great point.
I mean, that is an interesting loophole that I feel like.
Why hasn't it been exposed yet? That's a great question.
It might be.
Why did Miami just get sued to oblivion and settle out of court for an undisclosed amount of money? Why? When he could have just, right? What's stopping that? There's a 105. I understand this, right? We assume there's a tight
He's already
105
left.
limit.
So Michael Van Buren is at USF apparently.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
Done.
you're on the.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why isn't this happening?
No,
Why are
completely
we
understand.
so under the impression that this can't happen?
Right.
That your roster is indeed intact. Like right here, chat says great point. Deuce Knight should do this.
Well, Deuce Knight is happy that Trinidad Chambliss is coming back.
Word up.
That is a quote he gave, that he is excited that he's returning.
Stoked.
Yeah. So he's bought in.
Stoked to sit for a second year in college.
He's bought in over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the legality of. I do know that when you enter the transfer process, you have to announce like, okay, you have to file paperwork with the transfer portal to hit the transfer portal and all those things. But I got nothing. I mean, it might be able to.
I'm gonna circle back on this. I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna text some people about this. You guys give me your thoughts on Alabama's quarterback battle. Obviously, Austin Mack. I'm gonna label him the chosen one that ain't never played really. I mean, he got some Rose Bowl burn against Indiana in that blowout after Ty Simpson broke his 7th rib. But it looked okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got notes on it. It looks all right. I mean, it doesn't look crazy.
Right.
But I call him the chosen one because Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer got him to early enroll. He reclassed, got to Washington a year early. They go to Alabama, and it's like, all right, well, I'm in the portal. Let's go. We're going right to T-Town. Goes there, sits for a year behind Jalen Milroe, sits for a year behind Ty Simpson, and now it's like, hey, this Keelan Russell guy is like really, really talented. Mm-hmm. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of boils down to, without knowing much about either of these players, I'd say it kind of boils down to this. Like, based on what I saw from Austin Mack, I think with that type of player, what you're setting there is we want to have a comfortable floor with our team and our offense, because this is a guy, like you mentioned, Brooks, who has been around this offensive system for several years now, has been in Alabama for multiple years, kind of been working in the shadows for waiting his turn and getting his moment to be the starting quarterback. You get a glimpse of it in the Rose Bowl, and it didn't look bad. Like, it didn't look catastrophic. It wasn't like, oh, boy, if that's your quarterback plan next year, you can just kiss next year goodbye. It's a comfortable floor, I would say, if you choose Austin Mack. If you choose Keelan Russell, I don't know where the floor sits at, but you know where maybe the ceiling could sit at. Like, it's higher than I would say than Austin Mack as your starting quarterback, but you also have no idea the turns or the downhill climb that you could go on if he is your starting quarterback.
It's exactly what my notes say right here, Jonathan. Mack looked good in action last year, but Russell shows flashes signs of potential greatness.
Yes.
There's no doubt the Keelan Russell kid is immensely talented.
No doubt whatsoever. And I think that the rest of the roster is going to dictate what I think would be more beneficial to Alabama, because the first 2 seasons of the Kalen DeBoer era of Alabama have been, hey, our roster requires our quarterback to play like a superhero. And when they do, we look unstoppable. When Jalen Milroe was at his best, that Alabama offense looked unstoppable. When Ty Simpson was at his best this year, that Alabama offense looked unstoppable. But if they didn't have great games, or if they suffered injuries and hindered their performances, Alabama looked very beatable. So I think if the rest of the roster can elevate to a spot where we can say, hey, we're comfortable with the floor that we have in an Austin Mack, that might be your guy. But if you do need that, hey, our quarterback's got to go out and win us a game today, Keelan Russell might be the guy. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the rest of this roster has progressed at.
Did you football brain your song of the day today?
Maybe.
Isn't that SWV, not SMV?
I think it might be, honestly.
Yeah.
I wrote it in a hurry, so I'll fix it.
No. Song. You football brained.
Thank you.
I relish in the idea that someone else has those moments.
Hey,
because that is some shit I'd do.
George Strait, dude, that was the worst one I had. That was like the second song of the day I ever did.
Yeah, that's tough. That's one tough to get back on. I'm with you guys. I would ride probably Keelan Russell. I think you're a defensive-led football team next year anyways.
Yeah, I would
so
say
maybe if the young kids are turnover prone, maybe you ride Austin Mack.
Yeah, for sure.
And take the floor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Don't chase the ceiling there. I know one damn thing I won't be doing, talking about who the starter is. We're just going. Yeah. We're going to breed competition all offseason. We ain't never going to say a word about it. I don't feel that's the case at Florida or Vandy.
No.
I feel like at Florida and Vandy, we can talk about open competition and we can talk about the need for – I said on a Florida podcast today that competition is like oxygen in a football environment. You have to breathe with it. It has to be around. If it's not in the building, if it's not constantly around, we're not progressing where we need to be as a football organization. Football inherently needs to be competitive. We have to be competitive all the time. So we can speak about battles and we can label them battles, but nowadays we have price tags put on these things. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Aaron Philo didn't go down to Florida just because his offensive coordinator went down there. Aaron Philo's down at Florida because he got equivalent or more money than he was set to get at Georgia Tech, and he was set to get paid like a Power 4 top-end starter at Georgia Tech. So if we just follow the money in Gainesville, we should know who's going to start. It's going to be Aaron Philo, no offense to Tramel Jones. We can apply the same thought process to Vanderbilt. I don't even know who number 19's name is. I'm no offense to the last year's backup quarterback that I'm sure is great at Vanderbilt. But Jared Curtis is making $2.5 million. He's going to be the starting quarterback at Vanderbilt. At some point next year, I don't know if it's day one, game one, but number 2 is going to be playing next year for Vandy.
Oh, I mean, I'd probably go as far to say is if Jared Curtis is not the starting quarterback at Vanderbilt,
what do we spend the money on?
I'd say that'd be a detriment to the program. Like, that would be signs of, oh, you missed that badly. Like, that's how bad that looked. Like, the fact of we paid this guy all this money and we aren't even comfortable letting him play. That he better be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, the way I look at it is that something has to go catastrophically wrong for Aaron Philo or Jared Curtis to lose the job. They're not going to come out and announce that, hey, you're the starter when we enter spring, but it will obviously be, hey, they are in the position to be the starting quarterback.
I've always laughed about this, too, is like, oh, they won't be labeled the starter. Maybe not publicly, but everybody in the building will know. Mm-hmm. Practice 1. They will know who started practice as the starter. Mm-hmm. This is unlike any other position. It's not like having 2 corner spots. You got 1. It's not like having 2 guard spots. You got 1. We only play 1. So whoever walks out there with group 1, they know they're the guy, and it's their job to lose. And I think at Florida and at Vandy, those 2 players will have every single solitary chance to lose that job. They will have to at that spot. Now, there's another school in the SEC in Missouri that I have no earthly idea what they do.
Yeah.
At least they have options. I don't know how good I feel about the options, though. It's Austin Simmons, it's Sam Horn, and it's Matt Zollers. Mm-hmm. And if we wanted to, quote-unquote, follow the money again, you assume Matt Zollers will start here,
right?
Because they paid a lot of money to get him out of high school.
Yeah, they went to great lengths to make sure that he didn't end up at another program coming out of high school. Like Georgia. I think Penn State was also in the mix.
Penn State was heavily in the mix.
And they've gone to great lengths, I would imagine, to keep him on the roster while also recruiting a guy like Austin Simmons and also saying, hey, Sam Horn's going to come back, but don't you worry. Like, we believe in you here. So a really touchy situation is how I would describe it over at Missouri, because I'm sure Austin Simmons, a guy that started the year as the starter for Ole Miss, he's thinking, well, I'll go to Missouri and now I'll be the starting quarterback there. But I'm sure all those guys are kind of thinking that. That's a great place to be if you're Missouri, where you have 3 guys that are bought in thinking that they're going to be the starter this year, but also a very touchy situation of how you have to go about that.
Yeah, to not repeat what you said, I do wonder at some point, though, when our team's going to start realizing, like, hey, we're either going to waste this money or have a defective quarterback. Not to say that Zollers will be that, but say Zollers isn't the best quarterback in that room. Are you going to sacrifice the fact that you gave up this much money to really stick it out with him, or are you going to have to start someone else?
Kirby, I don't want to dodge your question. I don't think who the quarterback is at Missouri next year is going to matter a hill of beans.
That's fair.
Have you seen the roster outside of Ahmad Hardy?
Mm-hmm. That's very fair.
There's not a single solitary person in this chat that could tell me a single wide receiver without Googling Missouri's roster. And even then, you won't know. You won't know who those people are. It's a weird situation that they're in, I think, from a roster building standpoint. Now, they might come out and have a bunch of dudes that we've never heard of that turn out to be dudes. Mm-hmm. They always, as long as the last 3 years Eli's been there, they've had good weapons.
Yep.
And they've had relatively decent offenses. Caden Lee came over from Ole Miss. But
that's right.
Like, that's the one. Like, Caden Lee's going to give me 800 yards. I know that. Boom. Mm-hmm. We got 800 yards with Caden Lee. Outside of that, what we got building out there in Missouri?
Right.
That would be my primary question. My other question is, where is Sam Horn health-wise? Mm-hmm. I looked it up today. He's a dual-sport athlete, by the way. He was a pitcher for the Missouri Tigers organization. It's why he missed some football time early in his career, because he blew his UCL ligament out playing baseball. He's not on the Missouri baseball roster this year. I don't know if that's because we shattered our knee week
I would
one
imagine that's a factor,
of football.
But the fact that he's not even on the roster might implicate that
we might be hanging that one up. I think we might need to chase that one further than the football career. I haven't seen him play in a long time. But, buddy, we're 6'5", 6'6", and we're 95 off the bump.
Yeah, did you see what Tariq Scooball's going to do?
Who, what?
Have you seen it? Damn, man. That's like one of the best players in MLB right now.
The pill?
Yeah, Tariq Scooball.
He be throwing it?
Yeah.
Is he left-handed?
I think he is left-handed, yeah.
I don't.
Does he play for the Detroit Tigers?
He does.
Okay, so I do know some ball. All right, I do know some ball.
Paul Skeens.
But yeah, if I were Sam Horn, I'd probably be.
There's a lot of money
Throwing
that can
some
be made
fuzz.
there, that's for sure.
Yeah, and to just initially get. That's the great thing about baseball. You don't have to be professionally great to get paid like a professional athlete, as long as you show professional promise at least once. You know, for a good season, and then you get that paycheck, and then we ride it out in AAA.
That's right.
You know, that's Missouri. I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll find out this spring, as will we with Tennessee's quarterback battle. Do you just wait around, sit on your hands?
At what point, though, do you have to go like, all right, we got to move on? Because, I mean,
now, I think you have to prepare as if he's not coming back now.
Right. Which at that point, you start doing that, and then say we're, middle of March. It's like, hey, guys, guess what? I am back. Do you have a quarterback battle go on then? Or is it, hey, sorry, we've been telling you, is it Merklinger now?
No, Merklinger's gone.
Yeah,
he's at
it's
McIntyre. He's in
McIntyre.
UConn now.
And it's Faison
George
Brandon.
McIntyre. Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, George
McIntyre. I see what you did.
The M's in the K's.
It's a reasonable one.
I'm having a bad football brain tonight anyways.
No.
But no, saying
all
like,
good.
hey, George McIntyre, sorry, we've been treating you as the starter for a month and a half, but Joey Aguilar just got his 12th year. You're not our starter anymore. Like, is that what's going to happen? Like, that's the discussion I think needs to be had in Knoxville right now. Because you're right. If Joey Aguilar is playing, there is no quarterback battle. But we don't know if he's going to be, and we don't know how long it's going to be before we find out.
So I think they will get some type of, because spring practice is starting, they'll get some type of ability to rush this decision. You would imagine, right?
You would think so, yeah.
Right? I don't know. I've kind of already stated my case there. I don't want to piss Tennessee fans off. We can't be getting 8 years, man.
I agree.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We're going to go 8 years. And I had one Tennessee fan tell me, well, there's 1 year in there where he wasn't even playing football.
Look, Tennessee fans, you guys have been wonderful to the show. You lambasted Stetson Bennett for as old as he was.
Yeah.
When you had a quarterback the same age at that time, let's pump the brakes on trying to vie for a quarterback going
It's a great point.
into the 26th year of his life to be a college football quarterback. That's all I'll say. No disrespect to you. You guys have been wonderful. Shout out, but
Also, what a great time to figure out if your next future of your quarterback's like worth the shit. They've spent again, we talk about this over and over again because I don't know if, and I don't know their beat reporting base, I don't know if they've contextualized just how early Tennessee gets in on quarterbacks. I mean, they just took a 2027 commit out of nowhere the other day.
Yep.
That's still 10 months from signing that nobody was even really recruiting Derek Baker, but they want him bad. So they think he's good, so they're in on him. They're going to let him commit right now. That's how early. All right, they did the same thing with Faison Brandon. They had Faison Brandon's commitment 18 months before signing day.
Sure did.
They had George McIntyre's commitment 18 months before signing day. Do you know what that means? That means we are taking their commitment and making them the guy before we even see the senior tape. We don't even need to see it. He's our guy. Give him whatever he wants. Matter of fact, as the senior tape makes him more expensive, just give it to him anyways. And then we're going to keep punting on them when they get to college. We've got to play these guys.
Yeah.
Got to.
speaking of a great time you mentioned earlier, it's
Come
a
on.
great time to shout out our friends over at Sleeper, a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through those very things. They have over 6 million active users, which goes up every single day. They are one of the fastest organically growing platforms in the world in this industry and are earning some of the highest user engagements in the sports industry. If you head over there today, actually, wait a minute. They've also added a new feature of team picks for a few selections. They're not any longer just selecting player props. You can also select which teams are going to win. So if you head over today and use promo code Brooks, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that is promo code Brooks. Very thankful to our friends over at Sleeper.
We love it. We love it. We love it. Top 5 coaches. Top 5 coaches. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, firing off in the chat if you haven't already.
So before we do this, are we listing them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or are we going to say who we think the top 3 are and then kind of?
Yeah, so that's where I was going to start this conversation. I was going to start the conversation with, I think there are 3 football coaches who are unanimous selections for the top 3 spots, and there's really only debate on who is 1 and 2, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you two, I expect you to go Kirby Smart 1, Signetti 2.
For now, yeah.
I'll agree with you. I mean, you have the majority anyways. So Kirby 1, Sig 2, and that leaves Ryan Day 3. And I do think there is like kind of, it feels like a gap there between the top two and Ryan Day.
And
but
also,
I think Ryan Day over the last 2 years has closed that gap for me. I don't have as many questions about him.
Oh, the margins between Ryan Day, Kirby Smart, and Kurt Signetti are extremely thin. And
Correct.
You can make arguments that any one of them should be 1. You can make arguments that any one of them should be 3. So I'm not going to, push for any one of 2. I just think that, like I said earlier, the longevity of it and the fact that whatever.
I mean, I think the simplest way of putting that is when you make a top rankings of head coaches in college football, it should start with those 3. Whichever order you want to put them in, it needs to be Kirby Smart, Signetti, Ryan Day amongst those 3. Whichever order you put them in doesn't matter, but those 3, it starts with them.
I don't think you can make a solid argument for Ryan Day to be 1.
I would agree with that.
Probably not.
I think your debate has to be between Kirby and Sig. That's for me.
That's fair.
And I think everyone else might agree there. I don't know how they feel. Now, this is why this segment's on here. Because I think 4 and 5 could be a combination of 9 people.
Yes.
I think there are so many football coaches that are on the verge of this. They're one of those 3. And they're a national title away. I think there's no coincidence that apart from Dabo Swinney, there's not a football coach that has won a title that's not in our top 3, an active football coach. So I don't think there's any coincidence there. So who does get number 4?
Well, I put mine in tiers.
Okay. I'm interested to hear this.
And I have named these tiers. I have 3 different tiers, each consisting of 2 names. The first tier, it's probably one of you. Dan Lanning or Marcus Freeman.
Okay.
That's who I would lob up as 4 and 5.
That's
It's probably one of you that I would put there at 4 and 5. Dan Lanning has made the college football playoff consecutively now. The success in those playoffs, that can be debated, but this guy has won at Oregon. He has elevated that program, and he has gotten them multiple shots at winning a national title. Marcus Freeman, fresh off of a season, or now not fresh off a season anymore, recently made a national title appearance. Now this year didn't make the college football playoff. There was a strong argument that he should have. Winning games over there at Notre Dame. It's certainly a good program. The next category, or tier, I should say, the Hugh Freeze tier. You're so freaking close. Lane Kiffin and Mario Cristobal. I think that they're a step down as of now from those 2 previous names. There are a lot of questions about Mario Cristobal heading into this past season. He answered a lot of those, made a national title game. Win a national title, you're definitely up there, but you're so freaking close. Lane Kiffin, you're so freaking close to doing this. You just got to go out there and do it. And then my third and final tier, this could be deemed as rage bait. Kalen DeBoer and Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
This could be deemed as rage bait. That's
you
very
throw them up there.
touchy.
Rage
You'd have to
bait.
make a pretty solid argument to have either of those 2 up there on the list, but really good coaches.
Can I loft another name into rage bait?
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, that's definitely rage bait territory.
Yeah.
I think Lincoln Riley's lost that even.
See, I was going to go lost the sauce. Like another category of,
yes, Lincoln Riley's,
man, 5 years ago, you were a lock for this.
Lincoln Riley's
at the top of that, as is Dabo Swinney.
Yes.
Dabo Swinney with the top of the, you might have lost your fastball discussion here.
We're 6 or 7 years removed from Dabo Swinney might be better than Nick Saban, guys.
Yeah, as he surmounted Nick Saban as the GOAT in college football.
Yeah, we were having that conversation after 2018. And now he's not anywhere near the top 5, so things happen quickly. And that is a good list, and I do think that it is kind of the Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning. You have your best options there for it. But even then, like, how do you deviate what's 4 and 5 between those 2 guys? I don't know.
So I went – this is going to sound crazy because I don't even think – did anybody mention Mario Cristobal?
I just did.
He mentioned
Okay.
Mario Cristobal.
Because I put Mario at 4. Now, this might be recency bias.
I think that's
and I think it
recency
is.
bias.
But, man, like – and I'm also picking him because I think I'm going to be proven to be right moving forward. Like, who's got more juice right now than Miami on this list of guys, right? Like, Marcus Freeman feels really good about his 2026 roster because of his quarterback.
For sure.
Right.
But Kalen DeBoer is looking at like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Dan Lanning feels really good about his 2026 roster. I shouldn't look over him either.
Here's why I'm worried about Mario Cristobal. He's still, for as talented of a roster as he had, for as great of a team.
Are you
that
going to
they
do
have.
the thing?
What's the thing?
The late game management thing?
No. I think he beat.
I thought he passed all those.
He
Yeah.
passed with flying colors.
He has
this
still
year.
found 2 consecutive seasons found ways to lose to far
Fair.
inferior teams
No, that's
twice.
Yeah.
Like he has 4 very, very ugly losses. And you know what? 3. I'll only count 3 because the one in 2024 wasn't as bad. The Syracuse one was awful. But
Yeah.
3 very, very ugly, indescribable, unacceptable losses that you can't ignore right now. And yes, Miami was one of the better teams in college football. The run that they had in the college football playoff cemented them as that. But I'm not comfortable saying Mario Cristobal is a top 5 coach because of what happened last year, because there are still things that happened last year. So that's why I'll push back on that and say it should probably be Marcus Freeman or Dan Lanning, but they also come with their own flaws.
Yeah. Nobody standing on the table for Lane Kiffin?
I had Lane on my
You had him at
tiers.
5.
I had he's so freaking close.
Yeah.
The Lane Kiffin thing is interesting as well because
Let's put it this way. Let's say Lane Kiffin is still at LSU, still set to be the head coach of the LSU Tigers this upcoming season, but he finishes out last season. Does that impact anything for him on this list? Because I think for me, like, their playoff success is not attached to Lane. Like,
No.
He's not associated with that. What
No.
you did last year in the regular season obviously is, but had he won those playoff games, had he beat Georgia, had he been close to making a national title game, like, does that have any influence? Does that change anything?
I think it definitely changes him from a public relations standpoint.
That's fair.
How people talk about him and how people view him now is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we had ESPN documentaries about how likable this guy was, how he rebuilt his image.
yeah,
And tore it all down.
All down.
torched it.
Within 5 months. I mean, just burn it to the ground.
Here's my interesting take on Lane Kiffin, and this might also be revisionist history. Lane Kiffin's kind of thing that was holding him back, supposedly, was the fact that he was at a school that might not have had the resources available as a Ohio State, as a Georgia, as some of these bigger schools.
Texas.
Texas. The problem is now that
Sorry, I meant to cough and do that, but I didn't. Texas.
the problem is now that we just watched Kurt Signetti take an Indiana Hoosiers team and make them 16-0. So the argument that, well, Lane couldn't do it because he didn't have the resources available, or that's why he went to LSU, kind of loses some validity.
Yeah.
So that's my
People saying we're disrespecting Sark for not arguing for him here.
Sorry.
9-3, bro.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry.
It's just,
I'm not going to stand on 10 for you right now.
no,
Like,
not.
great coach, top 10 easily.
Yeah.
Could very well could win the national title this year. I think that you have to he should be commended for the turnaround he had at the Texas program. He has not taken them to the pinnacle of the top, and since they got to the SEC, they've slowly been reverting back.
We're going from a great thank you for rebuilding the brand story to bordering on doing less with more. Mm-hmm. And that's never a conversation like circling a football coach in these lists. Now, go do what you're supposed to do in 2026, like Kirby said. We'll talk about
I mean,
Yeah.
his position in all of this is very fluid. Like, he could rise up
Everyone's
the
is.
charts very quickly this year,
Yeah.
or he could fall further down the list, in my opinion, this year. Going back to Lane, though, it is weird, though, how, like, we're making a rankings of best coaches in college football, and Lane Kiffin is deemed as one of the best offensive minds, if not the best offensive mind in college football, which obviously plays into you being a coach. How good of a coach are you? Well, his offenses are always really good, but yet it maybe doesn't get the respect for being that because of some other things about him. Like, a very polarizing figure.
And I think also team success wasn't there. Lane Kiffin, despite not counting this season, Lane Kiffin had never made a college football playoff. He had never made a conference championship. I don't think his teams had ever finished better than an 11-1 record or a 10-2 record beforehand. Like, the 2025 or 2024 roster we talk about was Lane Kiffin's best roster. They went 9-3. So there are some knocks. Now, what he did this year was incredible all the way up until, obviously, he left. But that's not enough for me to say he's a top 5 coach in that regard.
top 2 entertainment. Maybe
Top
one.
1 entertainment. There's
like
no
one.
one more entertaining
Yeah.
than Lane Kiffin. But I
Depending
have
on what you like for entertainment.
I also think it's already kind of. Did y'all see the video of him at Mardi Gras?
no.
He was
God,
in
no, I
a
didn't.
he was in an LSU jersey taking pictures with fans. My man did not seem pleased to be there.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
usually doesn't though.
No, I don't. Guys, I think he's as weird as he comes off as.
Mm-hmm.
Having spoken to people who have worked with him and for him, that's a weird ass dude. That is a top 5 weird dude in college football. I think he is like an extroverted version of Mike Leach.
Huh. That's interesting.
I think if Mike Leach cared about what people think about him, he would be Lane Kiffin.
Interesting.
That's how aloof I think this dude is.
I don't hate the take. I just think that if you ever see Lane Kiffin in public in most places, it's like he doesn't seem like he's there enjoying being there.
No.
So either way, but that's not the debate we're having. I do agree though, like it is a tight 3. 4 and 5 are very hard to argue, but at the same point, it's probably Marcus Freeman or Dan Lanning.
That's who I would boil it down to.
Is that what we want to settle on?
That's what I would settle on at this point.
And Freeman's had more success in the playoffs, so go him 4, Lanning 5.
I'd be
but
comfortable
Lanning's
doing
had
that.
more consistency.
Yeah, it's like Lanning has had like a more extensive amount of success at Oregon, I would say. But Marcus Freeman has proven that he can get to a national title game and get really close to winning one.
What do you value more, consistency or peak? Because Marcus Freeman certainly has the peak. I mean, they made a national title.
Isn't Marcus only 3 years into this?
I mean, he has shown consistency.
Dan Lanning's only 4.
He's 5 years into this.
Yeah, no.
2, 3, 4, 5.
This is upcoming
6.
on 5.
This is upcoming on 5.
Yeah, so he's only 1 year ahead of Marcus Freeman. It's not like. So I don't know.
Splitting hairs.
And Dan Lanning's never lost a group of 5 teams. So like there's arguments for both.
Valid.
There's arguments for both of them. Like I'm not pushing either way. Like I think it's just what do you value more? Do you value consistency or do you value the peak more? So
it's fair.
I accidentally pulled up Marcus Freeman's game logs as a player.
Oh,
what do those look like?
Buddy, he put up 109 tackles as a junior.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was a dog at Ohio State.
Yeah, but a set for 3, played 3. He played as a junior, as a senior, and as a redshirt senior.
Huh.
Yeah. That would have been one of those 5 stars that transferred guys because he was highly recruited.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I think it's a tight 3. And then we can argue for Lanning and Freeman to defer who's 4 and 5, and then everybody else kind of has some stake here.
All right, before we switch over to the local hour, I do want to throw out a quick question just to see where you guys are. Dabo Swinney, we all agree, probably not anywhere near top 5, might not even top 10 right now because of what Clemson's look like. Say Clemson rattles off a 10-2 season this year.
Yeah.
They win the ACC and they win 1 playoff game. Where does that put Dabo in your rankings then?
So if he does that, what you're talking about with the roster now, okay. Like we're back to talking Dabo's graces.
I was about to say.
But here's the most concerning thing about what is going on at Clemson. That roster is putrid compared to what it was last year. And they went a game under 500?
Game over, I believe.
Game over 500?
7-5,
And that's
I
why
think
I
was
was
their final
I was about to say, if he does that this year, that's his greatest coaching job ever.
Okay.
Guys, I don't think Clemson's going to be very good on paper.
No.
For the first time in a long time.
No.
That's crazy. I mean, we went almost 15 years.
Oh, yeah, a very long time where Clemson was always in consideration.
Mm-hmm.
They were a top 12 roster for 15 years. We will not say that about them on paper this year.
No, we will
For the
not.
first time in a long time.
about them.
That is the first time we talked about it. No, they hired
Well, no,
they
I was
hired
saying,
Chad
like,
Morris, and we pooped on it.
This
Yeah.
season, we may not spend that much time talking about them.
I mean, hell, we didn't last year.
Well,
All
we
right.
did because it was.
By the way, I've gotten an answer
On.
what happens if I just want to transfer as a student and walk on.
okay.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I said, what stops this as an SEC director of whatchamacallit? What stops a player from transferring as a student this summer and walking on elsewhere? The response, legally, I don't think much. The buyouts that are in their contract is it,
So, again, that's
which we know
yeah.
is nothing.
Schools are willing to pay them.
Absolutely willing to pay it. So much so that they'll text linebackers during class, what's
Sure
the
will.
buyout?
Huh.
See on the other side of the break.
Oh,
we
do
got
we
a
want to
whole-
hit Super Chubs?
Oh, yeah, Super Chubs. Let's hit these because we don't know if these
We had
guys
some
are
very
local.
gracious people this
Absolutely.
hour.
Good job, Jonathan. Joshua Armstrong, we know he's hanging out for the local. Says Brooks' Fishing Pole Fund, RIP. Shout out to Joshua Armstrong.
Maybe he's the one who took him.
Look, guilty conscience getting to him.
Maybe Josh sold him. Was like,
Look,
you know
guilty
what?
conscience getting to him. Somebody did say check marketplace. Thought it was a good idea. I mean, to be honest with you, if it was like one of my like nicer rods.
What was it? Is it
Might
an
run
ugly
down.
stick or what?
No, I mean it was an old Abu Garcia
Okay.
model, and yeah, it was. I can't even remember the rod. It wasn't that. It was one of them Walmart like $39.99 rod tips. It wasn't that big of a deal. Marcy Rian, this one's important for the studio or whatever. We appreciate all three of y'all. That's a $100 super chub from
Thank
Marcy.
you guys.
Shout out to Marcy. We appreciate you, Marcy. We appreciate all you guys listening right now. During this short break, hit that thumbs up button. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
That alibi ain't as tight as he thinks it is.
Weird that you would know the distance between you and a place where a crime took place.
Also, 600 miles in a day, just get you some gummy, just get you some kitty, and you'll be all right.
That video cracks me up.
Get you some roller dogs, you little kitty,
Hell, we
some
did-
gummy bears. You have no idea what we're talking about.
We
do
do
you?
that once a weekend in the college football season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's it. That's our gas station trips right there.
Pretty much, dude.
Welcome into the local hour. We got a whole nother hour for you guys, and it is absolutely slam packed. We had a hell of news this weekend. On the Georgia front, Georgia makes several staffing moves and changes and additions. We watched Gunnar Stockton today. I gave you my rundown. You would already have the film study, but apparently graphics had some like road trip or something today. So people got lives outside of our content creation, believe it or not.
Shouldn't be making graphics while driving, probably. So
Sound advice.
way to be safe.
Sound advice from Jonathan.
Do
So
it.
we'll have a Gunnar Stockton film study, thinking right after tonight's live study.
10:01
Little nightcap.
Live stream. Yeah, a little nightcap, a little 10 o'clock upload for you guys on that. But we'll get none other than Jonathan Williams' thoughts on those film studies today. We'll also talk about where he ranks on returning starters in the SEC. We're also going to do some pocket watching today, which I love to do. But let's start with the news. Hit that thumbs up button. A lot of news. What news you want first?
I mean, just pick any one of the hiring.
Larry Knight.
Yeah.
Larry Knight, gonna be announced, I would imagine, sometime soon as outside linebackers coach.
Hearing reports from some places that is already
Getting it
official.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
getting
like
it done.
It's happening now. It's not official that he's been hired or signed. I don't know if he's signed yet, but that will happen.
Haven't
soon.
gotten the graphic yet.
A tough day for Rich Rod, to be honest with you. Rich Rodriguez hired my man Larry Knight January
Yep.
of 2026 to be his outside
Probably
linebackers coach.
think he stole one.
Probably thought he got a good one.
We might be getting a Shane Beamer press conference of.
I hope so.
We got someone better anyway.
We got somebody better. That was a great Shane Beamer press conference. That James Coley, sorry, sack. Don't worry. We got his signing bonus back, and honestly, hired someone better. Coach, why didn't you hire the guy in the first place? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
Semantics.
that. The semantics. Just eating the chips. But anyways, hire my man Larry Knight. Was at West Virginia, or is at West Virginia currently, but was at Arkansas State last year. Here's the important thing you need to know. 39 sacks as an outside linebacker group last year, Arkansas State. They had 3 of the top 7 pass rushers in the conference a year ago.
Averaged 3 sacks per game. I believe finished 6th in the country in that category. So very strong performance from him.
He was at Georgia Tech from 2019 to 2022. I only tell you that because this is the second coaching staff member that they've stolen from that staff in that time period. Andrew Thacker, the former defensive coordinator
And Crawford
at Georgia Tech. Well, I'm talking about defense of
okay.
minds. But yes, obviously Crawford as well. I don't know if Crawford was there in 2022. I think Crawford was at Western Kentucky at that time.
Okay, yeah.
But a lot of, hey, we like what he did over there. We observed it. We watched the room. We thought the room was really, really good. We respect his coaching. and Augusta, Georgia native.
And another thing to take note of his time at Georgia Tech, a player that many people will be familiar with was Luke Kennard, was a player for Georgia Tech during his time there. Obviously transferred to South Carolina, went on to win the Bronco Nagurski Award with the Gamecocks, but was very successful too and developed really well at Georgia Tech as well. And he was a big role in their defensive recruiting.
I would imagine he signed Romello Brinson.
Probably.
The guy that ended up transferring to Texas Tech and will now be a top 60 edge rusher? Or Romello Height, excuse me.
Yeah,
Romello Height. Yeah.
He's a state of Georgia native.
Yeah, he's from Augusta.
The recruiting ties are going to go well with here. He's got experience at most of the major colleges that have football teams in this state, so it's a slam dunk hire.
I think the most important thing, and when we were asked about it when Uzo left for the Cowboys, is like our sources told us immediately, pass rush specialist. Don't care where he's from, don't care what he does, don't care what he looks like. He better be a pass rush specialist. I thought it was no coincidence that that was the initial reporting. Matt Zenitz doesn't even say Georgia hiring outside linebackers coach. Georgia expected to hire pass rush specialist Larry Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I went back and looked at the statistics. They had 20 sacks this year. They were the worst in the SEC at it. And I know that, Kirby Smart is thing on sacks, and there is some validity to that, but they did not get after the quarterback nearly enough last year, which makes sense as to why they have addressed this in the coaching hires.
And look, one thing I know about covering Georgia over these years and watching all these position coaching changes that they've had because of the amount of success that they've had is that we're going to find out what he likes really, really quickly. We learned this about Uzo. The moment Uzo got on campus, it was like, my God, if you're 6'5", 260 pounds, come play for me. Mm-hmm. They didn't recruit a single undersized kid. Also, if you're a Nigerian, I'm recruiting you.
Yep.
I'm recruiting you. We figured it out early on with Uzo. We're going to figure out what Larry Knight likes really, really quickly. I think I don't know if it's unique to Georgia, but it seems to be unique to me when I talk to other DPPs, when I talk to other scouting people, when I talk to other coaches. Georgia gives not full autonomy, but Georgia gives a lot more autonomy to those position coaches to kind of cultivate the room than a lot of other schools get. Like, I can almost guarantee you that Jim Nagy decides what outside linebackers they recruit at Oklahoma. The outside linebackers coach does not. That's not the case at Georgia. Do you see what I'm saying? So we're going to find out what types of players he likes really, really quickly. Not only that, we're in an observation period right now. So I would imagine the moment he's hired, we're going to see him on the trail. We're going to see who he's recruiting.
Right. No, definitely.
And it's a huge class, too. Like, you want to talk about.
Oh, dude, it's dude-laden.
Yeah.
It is dude-laden. That was one. Look, this is going to sound like a negative thing about Uzo, but it is the reality, okay? Brandon Jacobs' recruiting just got a little bit more interesting because now you at least have a fresh voice going after him.
DJ Jacobs.
Did I say Brandon?
Yeah. We're all over the place with names today. I said Luke Kennard.
We're
I said Kyle
So
Kennard.
the DJ Jacobs thing, like, I'm not saying Uzo didn't do a good job, but this is a new job. It's a new person that might come in there and make an impact on that recruitment. I think that's important as well.
Fresh resume, too, of like you want to talk about elite pass rushers and having to recruit those guys. Well, here's a guy that just was at Arkansas State and was one of the best pass rushing units in the entire country.
By the way, they had 3 dudes that were in the top 7 in their conference in pass rushing. I didn't watch every snap and every rep in Mobile, but have we heard about anybody from Arkansas State?
Mm-mm.
So it wasn't like he was doing it with dudes.
Right.
No.
Is what I'm trying to get
Wasn't
at.
one of those Mike Green
No,
situations.
this ain't 3 Mike Greens, Jonathan. This is 3 guys in the top 7.
Yeah.
This is 36 sacks, and 3 of them done by 3 guys. And I haven't heard about, hey, Texas A&M stole this freak out of Arkansas State. Hey, this kid from Arkansas State's dominating the Senior Bowl. Where did this guy come from? He was doing it with scheme and development is what it sounds like, and getting output from these guys. So that's an important thing to note there.
For sure. I think that most people should be satisfied with how this hire went out. Everybody should be satisfied.
I'm excited, and that's not a shot at Uzo Duribe at all. Like,
well, it's one of those situations where you had a really good coach already, so you're figuring out who the next. Like, you got a really good coach to replace him, so it's a win-win.
You have a really good coach, but you also now have a coach that's going to directly address your deficiencies.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, again, that's not an indictment on Uzo Duribe. For God's sakes, he just got a Dallas Cowboys job. So
I'll tell you this much. I think Trey Scott is more than equipped to absorb the defensive end room and just let this guy specifically train pass rushing. Like, last year, I don't know how it was completely split up, but I do think there was some you have the defensive end and the jack room sometimes because they kind of morphed. Right. Like when early on, when Malik Herring and Trayvon Walker was here, the defensive end body type looked totally different than Azeez Ojulari and Nolan Smith.
Right.
Now, Gabe Harris and Quintavious Johnson look relatively similar. So I think there was some crossing over there. Now we can kind of separate the skill sets, not necessarily the positions, because the body types have morphed.
Right.
They don't look different than they used to. They used to look like two totally different humans.
And for a guy that appears to have great success when it comes to developing players, not a more pivotal time for a guy like that to walk into this room with the amount of young bodies that he has, guys that we talk about got to get 15% better. Like, that's what it's going to take this offseason. Like, that's a guy that clearly has the resume proven where he can do that. He can elevate these players.
Now, you mentioned it being a great hire, Kirby. You're extremely excited about it. I know one thing's for damn sure. You want to hype up the Georgia fan base about any football coach, tell them that you're about to hire an alumnus. And they going to go through the roof with that Q rating right there on the approval rating score.
An alumnus that played well.
Great. And that is Robert Edwards coming back. As an offensive analyst role, I have the exact name here. Player Connections Coordinator.
It's the role that David Hill had before he handed it out.
By name, no. By name, he's the Player Connections Coordinator. I'm pretty sure D. Hill was the a quality control assistant dedicated to running backs. So by name, no, but by role, yes. He is the running backs assistant coach. That's what he is. This was listed as the Players Connections Coordinator. And it was reported that this was made available because David Hill.
That's what D. Hill had on his EJ
Really?
staff.
Yeah, he was listed as a Players Connection Coordinator.
Well, all that role is you help recruiting, but you help in the running back room.
That's true.
That's what David did.
Yeah.
And no offense to D. Hill. D. Hill's great people. D. Hill was great while he was here. This is a unanimous upgrade in the name and Q rating score.
From the brand,
nobody knew who David Hill was. Robert Edwards is a name. This matters to the common fan.
From the brand, for the common fan, it's an upgrade. We'll have to see if it's an upgrade when you get on field results or how the locker room feels about it, because at the end of the day, like, that's what's going to matter most. But from a name prestige, yes, this is a upgrade. Obviously, Robert Edwards was a very talented running back for Georgia in the mid-'90s during the dark ages of that team, but had, I think, 900 yards in 97. So really solid running back. Has coached high school level football for
the last 18 years.
Yeah, the last 17 or 18 years. So has an ability to connect with young adults and young players. So it's not like it's just, some guy that played 30 years ago hopping off the couch.
And look, if we didn't hire one of the Edwards brothers, we were going to riot at some point.
That's fair.
Just had to get one of them on staff.
Right. Understandable. So no, I think it's a very exciting position, and I think it could work out extremely well for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the story about how his career basically ended?
No.
He had a really bad knee injury.
And do you know how?
No.
So used to, Pro Bowl is kind of a big thing nowadays, or at least a talking point. Used to, they would have this like pro-am at the beach in Hawaii before the Pro Bowl, and they would have a bunch of NFL players play a game of flag football on the beach with a bunch of celebrities.
Oh, okay.
And he went up for a reception in this celebrity flag football game, hyperextended his knee terribly, completely ended his career.
Oof. I think he had 1 year with the Dolphins afterwards.
Yeah, but it was just not the same.
That sucks.
Yeah, man. It's a crazy freak injury. It had nothing to do with like a real football event.
That sucks.
Yeah, man. So that was the day the Pro Bowl died, really. That's how I remember it. That was the day the Pro Bowl died. Get Hines Ward in here next. Who else? Davin Bellamy, hire him.
He gets added in now.
Who else?
I mean, Jarvis Jones continues to be discussed.
Got to get Jarvis back.
Mm-hmm. Terrence Edwards is always
Warren Erickson
around.
already on the staff.
Sure is.
Maybe Stetson should retire, come back.
Oh, coach up some QBs.
Sony. You need Sony in the running back.
And then 5 years from now, Nolan Smith retires, multi-Super Bowl
He's head
champion,
coach.
Head coach.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice and simple.
So
They did hire another former Georgia.
Yeah, they hired
player.
Mo Smith.
Sure did.
He's been on the staff, by the way.
He has been,
unofficially
yes.
on the staff. Now he's officially on the staff. So
Yeah, I think one of the funnier things and more recent, like, massive rule changes that nobody ever talks about was the off-field analyst role being removed, and now anybody can practice, anybody can coach, anybody can really be a position coach now. And now everywhere I go, there's like, Yeah, the offensive line's got 4 offensive line coaches over there. DB's got 17 guys over there. They're all on staff. It's like, what? Oh, yeah, got to bring Rennie Curran back. Got to get Rennie Curran. Garrett Cox's job opened up an opportunity for Rennie Curran to come back. Have they filled that Cox role yet?
I don't know.
That was a bit of a stretch, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, but no, I don't know if they.
Because I had a note here. I think they're done with off-season additions. I don't think that had to be the case. Now,
well,
when I think about the Cox role.
He was a defensive analyst, correct?
Correct. Specifically helping with the linebackers.
So I mean, obviously, Mo Smith's not going to help with the linebackers, but he was upgraded to a defensive analyst position. So
maybe we filled that.
Maybe
Perhaps.
that's the void being filled there, but
Okay.
it's position difference. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, like you said, they could have go out and add another guy if they wanted to.
We good on that?
Yep.
Off-season additions. You love them. It's a solid coaching staff for another year here in Athens. Where y'all boys want to go next? Y'all want to talk about this Elijah Holyfield story?
Yeah, we can hit on
I
that.
think we need to talk about this.
Go ahead. Introduce it to the audience.
So, you know what, Jay? Well, why don't you?
Oh, yeah,
introduce
yeah,
this to
Jay.
the
Well, why
audience?
don't you do this?
Why are you so forgiving to give me this opportunity to talk about the Elijah Holyfield story?
You wrote the article.
I did write the article. I wrote it this morning. We all love good Kirby Smart stories, and especially when it comes
We
from a
love
former
great
player.
off-season content, too.
Yeah, that too. Whenever
Man,
we get one of
few
these
and far
little nuggets.
between. When you get one of these, you got to jump on it as an opportunity.
Yeah, so Elijah Holyfield was, I'm not sure which podcast it was, but he was on
Had to be a
podcast.
WWE podcast.
Yeah, you would imagine so. That's what he's involved with right now, so you would imagine it's one of those. But he was talking about, now this is early Kirby Smart days, because Elijah Holyfield was a part of the 2016 recruiting class, first year Kirby Smart as a head coach. So he decides to tell a story about one of his first impressions of Kirby Smart at practice, and this is what he goes on to say. My first couple runs, I was kind of bouncing it out to the outside every single time. He was kind of getting upset about it. He's like, what, are you scared? He's like, are you soft? And those words to me are like, are you calling me a bitch? He then continues to say, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm starting to get a little upset now. So the next run, I'm like, I'm just going to try to run over everybody. So I'm just in there just hitting people. And by the end, I've got tears in my eyes and stuff. He comes back laughing and said, him being Kirby Smart, and said, you might beat their ass. You won't beat my ass. And walks away from me. And that's when I knew he's good.
What a crazy way to find out,
Bro, this is why Kirby is who he is, right? Because he challenges your manhood in front of everybody, literally to the point of you crying. And then he comes by you, gives you more shit, and you're like, you know what? That's why I love this
That's my guy.
That's my guy. That's the moment I fell in love with him. Huh?
Stockholm Syndrome.
Bro, this is the gift. I think he has this more than, Saban's career is what Saban's career is. But I do feel like everybody that ever worked for him, played for him, was around him, eventually reached a threshold of, I don't take that shit no more. And they would just go somewhere else. They would seek promotion elsewhere. They'd go to the NFL as fast as they humanly possibly could. They would talk afterwards about, damn, that sure was the hardest 3 or 4 years of my life, but man, I'm sure glad I got through it. That's the difference between Saban and Kirby in my mind, because everybody I've ever heard of that speaks about Kirby is like, man, that guy sure is an ass. But he's right. Mm-hmm. I probably should do what he's telling me. And I know it sounds really, really mean. And man, this quite possibly could be the most embarrassing moment of my life. But I sure am thankful. It's such a unique trait that he has.
The art of the likable asshole is something that very few people ever master, but when you do master it, it's borderline untouchable at that point, because everything that's said about Kirby Smart of he's hardcore, he's abrasive, he's an ass, he does a lot of things, he's very stubborn, are all correct. But at the same point, if you ask any player, any coach, 99% of them will say, one of my favorite players or coaches to ever work under, would do it 10 times over again. So thankful to the opportunities that he's provided.
It was so rare for a football coach to stay under Nick Saban so long that Kirby was the one. Mm-hmm. And he is notified as that guy. That guy stayed with that guy longer than anybody else. Kirby's got 7 of those.
Yeah.
Todd's never left.
Nope.
Trey Scott's never left.
Schumann.
No.
Glenn Schumann's been here since 16.
Yeah, and
these guys don't leave this guy.
Right, and Kirby was at Bama for only 7. I mean, Todd Hartley and those guys, and even Del McGee, They've
Yeah.
all surpassed how long Kirby spent with Saban. So he's obviously doing something right.
Now, look, I'm not saying he's as great of a coach. I don't think there will be anybody that ever surmounts what Saban did from a winning championship standpoint, especially not in the era of college football that we have now. But, like, this is the guy that we associate with hard-nosed, always in your shit, never backing off, just irate all the time. And he doesn't have this like saturation point for him in his relationships. They all seem to rock with it.
It is funny to think about, like, when you talking to like almost any former Georgia football player, if you would say like, "Hey, tell me your favorite Kirby Smart story." Like, tell me a moment where Kirby Smart showed a lot of love to you.
You talking about the Mike Griffith special?
And it's like, well, let me tell you about the time he degraded me in front of every one of my teammates.
Yeah.
Because that's when I knew that I love Kirby
Let
Smart.
me tell you about the time he called me a bitch in front of hundreds of my peers on a microphone.
And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. And I love it so much.
Wait until I tell you about the time he questioned my manhood.
The funniest part about all that, too, is like, these are the PR approved, I've got a microphone in front of me stories. These aren't, the cameras are off, no one's going to hear this. I'll tell you the fun ones.
Yeah.
So I want to hear those stories because I know that they're there.
I love Mike Griffith. I love when he asks that question every year at the Combine. Can't wait to hear it this time. Hey, man, everybody's got a great Kirby Smart microphone moment. What's yours? This one time he called me up.
To be fair to Mike Griffith, though, that is the gift that keeps on giving.
Dude, it's content galore.
Yeah.
It's every single time.
The best.
Especially for those NFL beat reporters that are like, wait, what?
Kirby does what?
He does what?
It's also a great opportunity because you got all these players that are like, I don't got to worry about Kirby Smart getting mad at me anymore.
No.
I'm airing
What's
it
he
out.
going to make me do, run laps?
Yeah, what's he going to do, punish me? Not hire me in 15 years when my career's over? Oh, no. It's not happening, so yeah, it's fun.
It is so unique to him, though. Again, I don't know when I came up with or thought about this, but I think it was like a year or two ago I came in here. I was like, you know what he's great at? Being an asshole and a likable one.
Yeah.
All the time. And it's that thing that it's something human about him that makes everyone realize, oh, he's right. I bet his wife pushes him around, though. Who do you think wins arguments in that household?
I mean, you got to have somebody in your life that checks.
Somebody's
you,
got to
right?
check you, right?
It's definitely
It's
Andrew.
got to be Mary Beth.
It's Andrew.
You think it's Andrew?
Andrew.
Andrew doesn't even get the opportunity to win the argument.
No, there is no
That's
argument.
like, dude, get out of here.
I could see, and this is getting very behind this, I could see Andrew sitting in his room, playing on Xbox or something. Kirby walks in. I thought you told to clean this room up. And he just goes, bro, shut up.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's how it's going down.
Kirby goes, okay, son.
There's always that one. You better be talented, son. I do want to see his collection of things he's stolen from SEC schools, though.
Oh, my God. Dude, they're probably just.
No, let's not air him out now. Let's not air because he is underage. I don't want the kid going to juvie. But I would imagine it's pretty
I don't think he.
pretty
I don't
in-depth.
think he even gives them the,
No proof.
not even that, the honor of having like a trophy case of it. I bet half of them are just in the yard somewhere.
Just miscellaneous.
Yeah,
It's
just-
a moldy football sitting in
Yeah.
the yard.
He loses Vanderbilt footballs like I lose belts.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I don't even remember what that one's from, but it's
I think I gave it to the dog.
been under the yeah. That's what he does. I think.
Yeah, it's a great point. We watched Gunnar today.
Did you?
Watch Gunnar.
Yeah, we're gonna release it right after tonight's live show. And we're starting a new series, and we started it with Gunnar because I didn't want to be labeled biased. I didn't want anybody thinking that I don't like their guy. And we went hard in the paint, and that's what this next series is about, right? It's about taking a look at a quarterback's worst game and figuring out why it went that way and how we can avoid making sure it goes that way ever again, right? Where do we get better? And I told Jonathan in the lead up to that film study today that I didn't feel like it would be fair to take like even his Auburn start because we were so early on in our career and so early on in the year that we really hadn't knocked the cobwebs off. So I thought the only game that you could really look at and say, hey, though you did not play bad, you did not play good enough because the other guy played great, and that was the Ole Miss game in the Sugar Bowl. So that's the one we looked at.
Mm-hmm.
There were cobwebs knocked off in that Auburn game, though. Don't worry.
Yes, there were.
He knocks them off, then he probably gets some back. That's how I would put it.
There's a little fogginess.
Which I think that's a great starting point for, areas where we maybe want to see Gunnar Stockton improve ahead of this season. It actually isn't on my list, but I think we've all been in agreement that at least lessening the amount of kill shots that we take because, going back and watching the game, there's a couple plays where Gunnar Stockton just absolutely gets obliterated and drilled into the turf, but they're also the two of the biggest plays in the game, I would say. The two of those hits that he takes are two of the biggest games that either allowed Georgia to extend its lead at one point or continue a drive that was very pivotal in the game. So that's not on my 3, but I did boil it down to I think that there are 3 things that if we had to emphasize to Gunnar this offseason of what I would want him to improve that I think would make him the best version of himself in 2026, it would, one, start with let's trust the pocket a little more. A great playmaker. I think he does a great job of when he scrambles, I think he does it intentionally. There's an intent to it. It's not just I'm escaping out of the pocket, I'm trying to rush. This guy gets lateral with the line of scrimmage, and he's trying to extend the play and find a shot for one of his teammates. So I think he does that well, but there's also moments where, hey, it's clean, and if you stay in the pocket, maybe we can deliver this strike down the field, and we pick up 15 yards instead of 4. So just kind of getting comfortable with that. The second one, and we talk about this one a lot, but it popped up a little bit today on the film that we watched, of just got to layer the football a little better. Maybe trust layering the football a little more. Maybe that's what I see because we know he can do it. This was something that he kind of showcased in the middle of the season. It was something that we're like, we got to see more of this, and what do you know? Gunnar Stockton starts layering the football a little bit more, and we even saw where he has the arm slots. He's able to throw from sidearm. He's got the arm angles to do it. So that's not even an issue there. It's just more so we got to get more comfortable doing that. And we just got to get more reps doing that this offseason. And then I'm going to steal yours, Brooks, because I do think it's one of the biggest talking points that you'll take away from that film study of players, not plays. It's like watching Zachariah Branch run open quite a few times and some pivotal moments too. We're talking about 3rd and 10, 2nd and 10, last drive of the game. Hey, if we trust Zachariah Branch here, if we had just trusted our players in that game, maybe Georgia ends up winning that game. Maybe we end up victorious. Just kind of maybe going off of the initial design of the play and just kind of trusting your guys, because there's even a play there where Dylan Bell is wide open for a touchdown, but we decide to go a different way. And we pick up positive yards, and it looks like a good play, but we could have just took the top off the defense and scored a touchdown.
I do think there could be some year 2 growth in understanding not what coach just called, but why coach called what he called. You know what I mean? Those plays where it is 3rd and 10, and it might be cool. We gotta go, and we gotta whip, and we gotta sail, and we might work it however we work it, but we're gonna work it different next year when we know, hey, coach is probably calling this because he wants Zachariah open, and we think we can get him open.
Right.
Our coach is calling this because we think Taylon's got an advantage here in this area of the field, so we're definitely going to read him first, even if it kind of tilts how we go through our progressions.
Right.
Not every progression's the same.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing, though, about the 3 things that I just mentioned is these are all fixable things. These are all things that you can fix throughout this offseason, or things that you just get better at with more reps. The more amount of time that Gunnar spends in the pocket this offseason, he's going to get better at managing the pocket and feeling more comfortable there, or layering the football, or things like that. It's not like we're going into this offseason where oh boy, we just got horrible mechanics. I don't know if we're going to fix that. I don't know if we get that out of you after being in college for 4 years, or you just got a turnover problem, or you're just still not seeing it. It's not those things. It's all things these are fixable things that are just going to happen with more reps more than likely.
And to add to yours, they're fixable things that he's shown he's capable of doing. There were passes last year, like we talked about, where there were, oh my God, he layered that ball amazingly. There were times last year where he steps up in the pocket and delivers a strike. He trusts the pocket. There were times last year where he found the player and necessarily went off script and made that play that needed to be made. So it needs to happen a little bit more, and I think we all expect it to going into, he's only 15 starts into his career. Right. I know he's been in the system for a long time. I know that he's a veteran at this point, but as far as starts goes, very, very young, so to speak.
Would you really boil it down? If we just had to pick one word for Gunnar, it would maybe just be trust, because, we talk about, I don't want to just spoil the whole film stuff, but there's some moments where, we take 2 hitches instead of just the one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's maybe we're not trusting it.
That's the thing I put on here that you left out is the extra hitches were killer in that Ole Miss game. And we shouldn't be taking them game 14.
Right.
Especially knowing all the extra hitches were on predetermined reads.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 8. They've got Meg coverage over there against Colby. We know we're throwing the comeback. Why are we taking an extra hitch?
Right.
We shouldn't. We should get to the top of our drop, take one hitch, and rip it. Or, hey, we're play action, okay, deep play action. We got 2 posts working, all right? Read where the safety commits. By the time he commits, take a hitch and let it rip. Well, we take 2 hitches on a ball that's getting thrown 50 yards downfield. Well, now we're 5 or 6 yards late, essentially, because we've taken an extra hitch. And though it might only be a second, we got a guy moving 20 miles an hour downfield. So that changes where these things are. So those types of things I have to get cleaned up. And you would imagine, like you said, the good news about all this is all these things you would assume are improvable in the second year of you starting. You should eliminate a lot of that hitching when we get into a second year in the system.
Right.
And again, from game 1 to game 14, very obviously a player that progressed throughout the year. So again, he also proved that he can show improvements on things that need help with. Like we talked about it all through the first 3 or 4 games this season. Felt like there were way too many turndowns. Now, you could argue it, and I didn't watch a film study, obviously.
It's there.
There were turndowns.
They're still there.
But there probably weren't as many if you go back and you watch the Marshall tape or you watch the Austin Peay tape or even the first Alabama game.
Oh, God, dude. The first month of the season, it was an unwillingness.
Yeah.
It wasn't even turndowns. It was your eyes are there, and you are completely unwilling to pull it.
So when it comes to, like, going back to the conversation about there are a few plays where we probably should have been throwing that to Zechariah, like, do you think it could be something as simple as, like, maybe we as an offensive staff need to change, like, our pre-snap operation of, like, maybe sometimes we need to say, all right, here's the play, but, hey, Gunnar, this is really supposed to go here. I don't know. That's just a theory. I'm not –
No, I can't say that.
Okay. I didn't mean to put you in a tough spot.
No. Ask me after the show what I was not allowed to say.
Okay.
And I'll tell you.
All right.
But there was an excuse I was given from this coaching staff that can't be. It can't be what the answer is.
Okay.
When I ask, why does this happen? And this is the response in 2026, cannot happen.
Can't be as in it's like it shouldn't happen, or can't be as in it's not possible to happen?
As in, we have parameters and things put in place to assure that does not ever happen.
Okay.
And it happened in a pivotal football game. No
Gotcha.
excuses. But I see chat talking about play calling. The only thing I will say about play calling that was obvious watching that Sugar Bowl back was the fact that they did not trust him on 3rd and obvious. Mm-hmm. On 3rd and obvious passing downs, they did not trust him. There was a lot of screen passes, a lot of handoffs to Cash Jones, a lot of it's 3rd and 10, the ball's on our own 25, there's 52 seconds left in the first half. We have 3 timeouts, and we decide not to do anything with it. Now, some of that might be scarring from last year, right?
Or
in the
fact
Notre
that you're
Dame
up
game.
21-12.
Or the fact that we're up 21-12. But next year, in year 2 of starting, 3rd and 10s cannot be punting possessions.
Yeah, and I think that you're probably right that the scarring was more from last year in a 2-game span. In the last 5 minutes of the first half, you lost your starting quarterback and basically lost the game because you had a scoop.
Oh, dude.
Pretty much a scoop.
Middle 8 and 24 cost you whatever you thought was supposed to be there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The last 2 minutes of Texas, starting quarterbacks, UCL blows out. Middle 8 against Notre Dame, you lose 17-0.
Yeah.
And you lose the game by 7. So, or 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's
but
23 to.
I mean, it was. I'm with you. I understand, and I guarantee you, in that moment, Kirby was very aware of what his history in those 2 minutes had been, and maybe that's why he got conservative. And we could sit here and be hindsight with it. I'm just saying, second year starting with the quarterback that y'all went through the offseason committing to, by the way. Like, if you don't think Georgia could have been in on some of these transfer portal quarterbacks that got paid a lot of money and that a lot of people think are NFL football players, if you don't think Georgia could have been in the mix, you're sadly mistaken. They have chosen Gunnar in 2026, and if you're doing that, and you are, he's got to show growth enough to trust him in those situations. That's all.
No doubt about that.
So, where does he rank in terms of the returners in the SEC? Now, just to let you know, in my list, I included Sam Leavitt and Byron Brown because they are quarterbacks who I know are going to start and have starting experience. Does that make sense?
And he'll be starting in the same system.
Leavitt, not so much. Byram, yes.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I was thinking for Byron.
I've heard people say that Kenny Dillingham's offense is similar to Lane Kiffin's. No, it is not.
No,
it is not.
No, that's not true.
My initial inclination is second. He's second or third for me.
I've got him third.
Behind who you got?
Trinidad at 1, and like clear-cut, obvious 1 for me. I don't even think there's a close 2, but I have to do a 2, and that's Arch Manning. And then I go Gunnar, then I go Lenoris, then I go Levitt, then I go Byron Brown and Mateer.
I would go Gunnar over Arch. Arch, we get it, has the much higher ceiling. I think that's, their draft projections would suggest that. Gunnar was a way more consistent quarterback last year. And I understand that Texas' offensive line and their offensive schemes, and Arch was asked to do a lot more than he needed to. There were still very much moments last year where Arch was having, you're in your first year starting really, really bad mistakes. And Gunnar had those too, but they weren't mistakes. They were more turndowns.
Those last 5 games, basically Oklahoma on, I was like, all right, that's the guy I signed up for. I don't know what the guy was prior to that, but that's the dude I signed up for moving forward.
I would just and I think I agree with you I have no issue if you want to put Arch Manning ahead of Gunnar Stockton and put him as the third best quarterback in the conference. But from what I have today and what I know about both of those players today and what I watched from both of them last year, I would just have Gunnar Stockton at number 2 right now, ahead of Arch, slightly ahead of him, very barely ahead of him.
I mean, Gunnar Stockton is a winner, and we don't know if Arch Manning has it. We know Arch Manning is going to be a really, really good quarterback, but what game last year where was it, hey, Arch, we need you to deliver and win us this game?
Mississippi State.
Okay.
Mississippi State, he was the reason they won the football game.
You're absolutely right on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of
until he was knocked out on the turf.
But he got them back in that
for
position.
sure. That was a 17-point comeback that had Brandon Walker crying.
I would say
it was all because of Arch Manning.
I would say Mississippi State and also Texas A&M. He played a huge role in them.
That's fair.
Shit, I didn't even put Marcel on this list of returners.
You had him in the show notes.
He's on the list.
Oh, I know he's on the list. I didn't even rank him.
Is Marcel Reed ahead of
I'd
Gunnar
put
Stockton?
him and Mateer in the same
Dude,
category.
he's in this there are 5 quarterbacks in the SEC, 4 that I have no idea what to do. 5. Lenoris, Sam Levitt, Byron Brown, Mateer, and Marcel Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are going to have games where they go for 500 total yards and then games where you're like, my God, they scored 3 points against who?
I mean, they are boom or bust. Like nuclear boom or.
I don't think there's any way Sam Levitt is anything but a tremendous success next year.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that goes into that system.
That dude is J.J. McCarthy from the sense that
He's
he
9.
going to get somebody fired.
Oh,
yeah. He is going to get your ass fired.
He's 9.
So, and he's 9.
Yeah, I do wonder.
That's 9 coming out.
I mean, the sporadicness does kind of fit in with what a Lane Kiffin offense is. I just wonder, was the sporadicness initially contributed to the fact that you're in a Lane Kiffin offense, or was it the fact that you're just a sporadic quarterback? Because let's be fair, Trinidad Chambliss wasn't really sporadic. Now, he had plenty.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. I think what Sam looked like at Arizona State and what he's about to look like at LSU is going to look like Lane solved all these problems. But in reality, Lane and Charlie gave him all the answers before the play started. That's what it's going to be. And everybody's going to be like, oh, my God, look at this growth. And he's going to be a first-round draft pick, and he's going to get to the NFL and be a turnover machine. Mark my words. Nostradamus right here. Huh?
I could see it.
Still haven't gotten an answer, by the way. I'm going to say it until somebody tells me to stop saying it. Who is Gunnar Stockton's quarterback trainer? Can I get an answer?
Shall we ask AI?
Ask, yes.
Hey, you can ask the robots. I've asked people in the building.
Do they not give you an answer?
They got the secret sauce.
What's going on with the cameras? Is
blinking
my
red?
vision going blurry with the cameras?
I don't know.
I didn't notice anything. On
Either way, still ain't got an answer.
Can't
And
give up
I
the
know there's a lot of
sauce.
people listening, and I know when I say stuff that ain't supposed to be said, I get text messages like, So where y'all at?
Gunnar Stockton is up in Rabun County right now with some unbeknownst QB trainer, and he's throwing footballs over mountains.
Let's just start making legends about Gunnar Stockton like he's Paul Bunyan.
I heard he's training with that guy on Instagram that does the spoof baseball trainer videos. He's like throwing those water bags and like jumping off of squat racks and just doing crazy shit. Yeah, that's who Gunnar's training with. I heard he's training with that guy that holds the squat rack underneath the safety rack and has him jump up against the squat rack. I heard he got that.
Good God.
Somebody give me an answer there. I would like that at some point. Not that, my ultimate success is relative to Gunnar Stockton's, but yours is in 2026. Mm-hmm. So that would be nice to know.
Here's a question before we.
How much did Will Muschamp get paid?
No, I was gonna. One more Gunnar Stockton. Before.
Please.
This time last year, if you could tell Brooks from 2025 last year, hey, these are the deficiencies Gunnar Stockton's going to have, but he's also all of these things, would you have said, oh, sign me up? Or would you be, I don't know if he's the answer?
Honest to God, after 2023 and 2024, if you'd have just told me the type of leader he was, I'd have signed up for it. And I still will. I will not go back to covering football teams that don't execute and don't play hard and don't show up every single weekend. I'll say that like I'd have an option, but I will not enjoy it. I will not enjoy it.
No,
I did
that's
not
fair.
enjoy covering 2024. I did not.
I don't think most Georgia fans enjoyed that season.
And you know what's crazy? Same exact result. Same exact result.
But it felt
same
different.
exact outcome.
Felt way
and
different.
it felt way different.
Minus one regular season loss.
And guess where else it felt different? Inside the building.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they are going where they're going. So you wouldn't even. I honest to God, if you'd have gave me the outcome of his physical performances, I said that checks out.
Okay.
Everything about. I mean, there's clips of me on Feinbaum saying this guy can't wear the football. At SEC Media Days.
Yeah.
Like we knew what he was going to be. We knew what type of offense it was going. What I didn't know was, oh my God, everybody's going to be willing to die today.
And so is he.
Because he is. Not because he, or so is he. Because he is.
Facts.
That's totally different. And I'm buying for all of that. Because I still at my core believe that this is a team football sport. This is a organizational sport. That on the NFL level, we can be individual excellent. And that's fine. We don't have to be the heart and soul of everything that we do. But in college football, somebody does. Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to be the heart and soul of your championship. And I thought Fernando Mendoza was the heart and soul. I thought how he operated, how he moved at Indiana. Well, why both of y'all got that weird smile on your face?
I'm just at the point of the offseason now where I'm starting to get excited about Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, are you?
Oh, word?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
Oh, we got to go to the combine now.
My quarterback.
Is he going to throw?
Probably not. I wouldn't. But then again,
Hey, I got some connects to Indiana. You want to go to their pro day?
That's a long trip.
Every time with this guy. Every time. Like, hey, I got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Well,
Once in a lifetime. Well, bro.
I don't think that anybody has ever uttered the words once in a lifetime and then followed that up with Bloomington,
Pro Day.
Indiana.
Bloomington, Indiana Pro Day. It's not like you said, hey.
You're going to look back when they build the statue outside of that Las Vegas monstrosity and they say, this is our greatest Raider of all time. And I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, Kirby, they just unveiled the statue. You could have been at his pro day.
Yeah, but I was also at.
Pain of Regret's going to be out of this world at that point.
It won't. No, it won't, dude. I saw him at the combine, dude.
Well, I don't think he's going to be doing anything at the combine.
Yeah, I'll be in his presence.
We can get Equate Mendoza right here on the flats. We can go down there and check that out.
Nah, no, that's okay.
You ain't trying to see Lil Bro? Lil Bro Doza?
Seems like a great dude, but
We'll eventually see him.
he's not gonna be my quarterback.
Muschamp got paid.
He got very handsomely paid.
Muschamp got a fat check. What was
I can see why he went to
what was the
Boston.
finalities on this?
I think the final
It was like 1.9, 2.3?
oh, buddy.
You get 2.7?
2.7 starting with a $100,000 raise each year. Contract totals 8.4. So I think it goes 2.7, 2.8, 2.9.
You know what my first thought was when I read this headline? That looked like Sark going to the NFL insurance. That's what that looked like.
Oh.
Why else would I pay a defensive coordinator $2.7 million annually?
Well, you're that desperate.
They weren't, though. They had a top 20 defense last year.
But
But we all talked
it was
about
top 20 statistically, but it did not feel that way.
No.
It felt like, all right, let's stop calling Simmons today.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it got boiled down. Like I remember sitting in here when we were prepping
The Vandy
for
film.
Texas, and my entire takeaway was Well, the good news is it feels like you only have to stop Colin Simmons, but Colin Simmons could also probably beat you by himself at times.
And he did. He won the Vandy game by himself.
Yeah. But that's kind of what it boiled down to last year. And it shouldn't be that way at Texas. It shouldn't be, hey, we just got to keep an eye on this one player.
No, I mean, by the way, Will Muschamp, he had a 3 to 4 year hiatus from being a defensive coordinator, is one of the most respected minds in defense. Like, is put on Kirby Smart echelon of defensive masterclass. It's a no-brainer. With all the money that you're spending anyways, go out and get the best DC. Hell, you're spending millions of dollars on the players that you have. Why not get millions of dollars to get the coaches?
I think I got more of a problem with the fact that you don't like going on car rides with me. Is that what I'm saying?
It's not that, dude. It's just...
What's up with this? You guys talking about in the chat, people giving him crap have clearly never rode in the car driven by me.
Hey, man, there's a couple of times where you're like, is he going to stop?
I'll give you that. Are we
going to
There was also like one of the most all-time clutch ups in the history of clutch ups.
That was clutch.
So
That
I think one clutching of saving our lives might outweigh the other ones.
You know how people make jokes about when a girl runs over a curb, she's like, oopsie. For Brooks, it's when you almost crashed in the car in front of you, it's my bad, boys.
Or when bro's riding the rumble strip for 10 seconds, and you're just in the back. You're in the back trying to type an article, and you're going.
The good thing about road trips is there's always stories. Like, they're always memorable.
They're never boring.
It's never boring.
It's never like, oh my god.
I will say this: I
car.
do kind of play by a 3 strikes and you're out rule. About the third time I hit the rumble strips, I'll go, all right, that's it,
Lock
and I'll
in.
throw the phone up on the window.
No phone.
Yeah,
Gotta lock in real quick.
It will lock the F in for a good 50 miles.
Yeah.
So we're coachable.
Hey, it works.
Oh yeah.
And we 5 years in, and we good.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a scratch on
I can't
me.
go to the state of Texas, but other than that, we're good.
Whoa.
I can't drive in the state of
There
You
Texas.
can't get pulled
There
over
you
in
go.
the
You
state.
can't get pulled over.
Yeah,
You can.
there we go.
Can't get
you
pulled
can
over.
go.
I can go. I can drive. I can't get pulled over.
So next time we go to Texas, rental car might be in someone else's name next time.
You know, we got a lot of Georgia State Patrolmen that listen to the show. Any Texas State Patrolmen out there, your boy could use some help.
But no, Will Muschamp did get paid a significant amount.
Oh, it's enough for me to say, son, I love you, but I'm not watching any more of your games. I'm going to head on over to Texas.
It's enough for, as a Georgia fan, to go, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really upset Will Muschamp left us, but
Now I know why
That's
you
a lot
didn't
of
want to make
zeros.
$400K anymore.
It's a lot of money and enough money to look at your son and go, you know, I'm not watching you ride pine. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Son, you're not even playing. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Y'all going to suck next year, too.
Well, I suffered
and
through
they
this.
just signed a 5-star, son. You're never getting on the field. You're never getting on the field. I can go somewhere else.
damn.
Couldn't even bring him with him either.
No, you're not coming either. You're getting that Commodore education, baby.
Staying here.
You stay right here.
I could see him be like, well, Dad, looks like we're moving to Texas, and we'll just threw his glasses on and he goes,
Fucking rat in your pocket?
we,
We?
brother, I am moving to Texas.
Brother, we are moving to Texas.
Me and your-
You are not.
Me and your mom are
That
moving
said,
to Texas.
pick up this box.
With that being said, Jackson Muschamp would have won the 2022 title.
Would have.
I'll say that.
What have?
Jackson Muschamp would have helped us get a three-peat.
Facts.
No doubt.
I'd trade 2 years of Carson Beck for 1 year of Jackson Muschamp.
I'll trade 1 season of Stetson Bennett for 30 seconds of Jackson Muschamp being my starting quarterback.
You got that already.
Whoa.
You get more than 30 seconds.
That was a lot.
Starting
Oh,
quarterback.
he's got to be first snap. First guy
I need
out.
to hear his name over the loudspeaker and see the graphic on the.
That can't be real.
Oh.
Run a Google.
Yeah, I'm going to run a Google.
That cannot be real.
What?
Dude, what?
What do they need that for? I thought they had all the Andre Agassi money they could possibly have. Is that real?
Dude.
IMG was taking cartel money.
This is from a news channel in Florida, and the caption of the video says, IMG Academy fined $1.7 million for accepting tuition from families linked to Mexican drug cartel.
Okay.
All right, so that's
So they didn't know.
All right, they weren't taking football money
They
from
were
the
like, hey,
cartel.
cartel.
All right, that's a little bit different.
That's we have a son who's linked to whatever.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not. The
I mean, I bet there's a dozen schools in Florida that have that going on if we really dug through their annals.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Thankfully, it doesn't nobody's doing some injustice with the headlines either.
And we talking Mexican cartel or the
yes,
the
Mexican
folks?
cartel.
I thought. I mean, no, they don't even focus on that white powder. Mexican cartel.
Yeah.
It's more of a gang than a drug business.
It's definitely both. But.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely both. Most pivotal game in 2026. CBS Sports says it's Ole Miss.
I disagree with
I
that
disagree.
one.
And look, I get why it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss ended your season last year. It comes later in the year. It's at a point where it could be the leading up what's happened to it. You need to win that game, but
Front page of On3 tomorrow morning. Christian Kirby of the Film Guy Network disagrees with CBS.
if On3's writing articles about me, I'm fine with that.
Bet. I'll let
I think
Shannon know.
We're all okay with that, in fact.
I'll fend off some CBS.
In fact, just throw us in as an entire show. Just say, the Film Guy Network says.
No, but I said it.
FGN says.
I mean, you get 3 separate articles from us. I mean, that's efficiency right there.
I mean, imagine the aggregation
Yeah.
we could have going on. Mm-hmm. FGN says. On3 says FGN says. On SI says that On3 says that FGN says.
Ooh, I didn't even think about
We're just
this.
feeding families.
You know? It's like that scene in Joe Dirt when he's like, you stick a rocket up a bullfrog's ass, and the bullfrog come back to you win twice. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
But I don't think it's Ole Miss. And I get why they say that because it is going to be a pivotal game at that point. But it's Alabama until further notice.
I was going to say Alabama because beating them in the SEC title game, that's definitely like a relief in the sense of this battle that you've had with Alabama of, all right, we got to win back now. We're not on a losing streak anymore. You really want to put it like to rest, like it's dead now? Beat them in the SEC title game and then walk into their house next season and beat them again.
Walk in your trap.
Not only that, the success or happiness of Georgia fans has been largely dictated by whether or not they beat Alabama if they're on their schedule. If Georgia go back and think of the fan base, what the attitude was around that team in the weeks after Alabama lost. It was, oh my God, fire this player, bench this player, fire this coach. I'm done with this team. This is an embarrassment. I don't even know if Kirby's the guy anymore. I don't trust this staff to win it. Like, they were beside themselves after losing to Alabama. They're not going to be beside themselves if they lose to Ole Miss Knox. They'll be unhappy. There will be fire Mike Bobo's galore, but there's not going to be as much of an outrage that takes place if you go into Tuscaloosa and lose. If you go into Tuscaloosa and win, though, we're untouchable. We're going undefeated this year. Like, that is the most pivotal game for Georgia.
And if you really want to get analytical with it, this is a game that is earlier in the season. So, like, if you can make it through that one without taking a scratch mark on your record, that's huge for going into the second part of your season.
I got several nominees here. I mean, the Vandy game's important because Jared Curtis is coming to town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that will be pivotal.
What better moment to make him realize, oof. That's a big one from a storyline standpoint. I think Florida next year, man. Like,
That's an interesting one.
I don't know how you guys feel as Georgia fans, but as someone who covers Georgia, I said it today, and I was on a Florida podcast. I think there were 2 worst case scenarios for Georgia when that Florida job come open. Worst case scenario number 1, Lane Kiffin take that job. Mm-hmm. Seeing Lane Kiffin every single year in Jacksonville would have not gone great, okay, every single time. That didn't happen, but I thought they hired the second worst case, which was to give Buster Faulkner those players.
Yeah.
Now, yes, for this upcoming season, knowing it's Buster Faulkner calling the plays and knowing what he's been able to do to your defense a couple of times, that's scary. The best part about that news is probably won't be here for very long.
I don't think so.
So
I think Buster puts up 35 points a game for 2 years and then is a big-time power forward.
But, yeah, certainly going into this year. Now, but I'll say this. Like, I would say for the last 2 years, the last 2 Florida-Georgia games, both of those games, I was like, I don't care what Florida's record is. Like, I see that they're talented. I see that they could keep it close to Georgia. And the last 2 years they have. So it's not going to be a different feeling for me going into this year.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, Florida will get Georgia at some point. That's how rivalries work, even if Georgia on paper is a much better football team. So you're worried coming into this year. Now, some ways to relieve that worry would be that Yes, Buster Faulkner has given Georgia absolute fits. Georgia seemed to have a pretty good answer for that system last year. Now, completely different quarterback that has a completely different skill set, and it's going to be different players. But the 2 years prior, it was like, damn, Georgia Tech's kind of having their way with Georgia. That did not happen last year. So
that Oklahoma defense is pretty concerning.
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting matchup.
Yes.
It'll be a litmus test for what you are offensively.
It's probably a really good thing you get that one at home this year.
Yeah,
that will
home
be,
and early.
That will be a how much can our defense and our crowd affect John Mateer, and can we get John Mateer to give us 2 scores?
Yeah, how many
times can we get him to throw a Swiss cheese sandwich over the middle of the field?
How many times can I get a pub sub chicken tender sub thrown over the middle of the
on
field?
Sale.
Hey, give it to me Mike's way, Johnny.
He's prone to do that a couple times.
Give it to me Mike's way, John Mateer,
Meatball
over the middle of the field.
But yeah, no, I the Florida game always works. I don't think it's the most pivotal game though, because what?
I'm just laughing at that trend, bro. Hopped on College Football 26, threw a jersey's Mike's number 1 Mike's way, and logged off.
I'm telling you, it's one of the best trends the internet has created
it's
recently.
great.
Who started that?
I don't know. I think
dude.
he was a former NFL player.
Probably.
I think he's watching
Actually,
the playoffs.
I think it was after a Geno Smith game.
Yeah, I
if I'm being
think it
honest.
was.
Like Geno Smith out here
Cut the cameras. I don't want to do this episode.
throwing
anymore.
foot-long subs out here.
Bro throwing a Subway foot-long.
Please save us, Fernando.
In all seriousness, I am on the verge of saying right now in February, I think I might pick Ole Miss to win the league just because of Trinidad and Kiwan. But I think 85% of people at SEC Media Day are going to put the weight of expectations on Sark.
Yeah.
Probably
Sark's going to get Texas is going to be every SEC favorite to win
Probably so.
everything.
I'm hesitant on Ole Miss because I need to see what play calling looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I think like Kejuan Lacey.
You don't think they're that good though? You don't think Trinidad and Kiwan can be just
I think
so
they're
good
that
that it
good.
doesn't matter?
I think they're that good. I don't know if the system's going to be that good that allows you to go
Like, here's the
11
question.
and 1,
well,
10 and
Joe
10.
Judge is still there, and nobody's getting pregnant in season, so we know that.
That is
we
true.
know that.
Like, here's the question. Like, can Joe Judge and the offense continue to hide their deficiencies as well as they have?
Yeah.
That's the bigger question. Like, can you make maybe your lesser than offensive line not really a factor, continue to do that?
Texas seems like the safest bet to me because it's do the talented players you have deliver? Because if so, oh my God, you should go 16-0.
Just put all the weight and expectations on Sark.
Let's do it.
See what happens.
I'm fine with that.
You are this year's James Franklin. Just don't go that way.
Yeah, oh,
Hey,
don't go that way.
Don't go that way. You better not.
What's the equivalent to losing to Northwestern in the SEC?
On their schedule, Mississippi State. If they have them this year, I don't even know if they do. But I don't mean to say, but that's what I felt about Penn State last year. I felt like on paper, if Penn State didn't have national title expectations last year, when were you ever going to do it?
Right.
When were you ever going to think going into the year, our coach better win this year? If you're a Texas fan looking at that roster right now and you don't think that they should guarantee they have to go play for a national title, then I don't know when you're ever going to feel that way about your football team.
If they lose to Mississippi State or Arkansas, that would be the equivalent of what James Franklin
In 2
did.
consecutive weeks.
Okay, well, Arkansas is the second.
Because that's what it was, right? It was UCLA and then get beat at home by Northwestern. If you do that, but I don't think it's going to happen this year.
That's fair. I mean,
I think their floor is 9-3.
Yeah, it's safe to say.
And that's a pretty.
And if you're 9-3, I'm going to look at you weird. Because I don't think you should be 9-3 with that roster this year.
No, you should not.
I think you should have been 9-3 last year, but hey, I digress. Appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you right now with a Gunnar Stockton film study. How about that?